Welcome party people, come on in and take a seat. My name is Darrel Wilson and today I'll be showing you how to make a WordPress website step by step with the Divi theme. So we spent weeks making this video so complete noobs like yourself can learn how to make professional WordPress websites that look great, that are responsive, and you don't need to have any experience whatsoever. Plus, you'll learn how to use the Divi theme and all of its features, which is currently right now the most popular WordPress theme in the world. So today, after watching this video, you'll be able to create your own website and you'll become a WordPress pro. Trust me, this stuff is so easy. And we do not make ugly websites here on the Darrel Wilson channel. So after watching this video, you'll have a modern and professional looking WordPress website and you'll be so good you can even start your own web agency tomorrow. So go get some snacks, go get a drink, pull up a chair, and let's get started today with this WordPress tutorial. So today I'll be showing you step by step on how to build and customize a modern and beautiful WordPress website. And the great part about this video is that you don't need to know any sort of coding or any HTML because we are using a drag and drop builder that makes it super easy to build your new WordPress website. And as you can tell, this website looks very professional yet simple. So I'll be showing you how to build and customize every part of the website so you can walk away today with a beautiful website that your visitors will love. Now you can build any type of website you want with this tutorial. You can build a business website, a blogger website, a portfolio website, a tech website. You can build any type of website you want in this WordPress tutorial. I will also be showing you how to make vibrant and beautiful designs with free templates that will stun your visitors and make you and your website look very professional. And just to make sure you make great looking websites, I'll be giving you some professional design tips and quizzes to help you with your web design skills. So today in this video, I'll be showing you how to build your new website with WordPress and the Divi theme. WordPress powers more than 500 million websites and is by far the most popular platform for making websites. The Divi theme started back in 2013 as a one-man operation, and after years of development and hard work, the Divi theme quickly became the most popular WordPress theme in the world, employing more than 100 people worldwide. So as of today, Divi is the most active WordPress theme that powers more than 1.8 million websites. It is also used by popular websites like the Kingdom of Thailand, all of the Palace Station casinos in Las Vegas, Polytechnic Institute, Penn State University, and the state of Georgia. So you'll be using the most modern and up-to-date software to build your new WordPress website. Now, I gotta be honest, I think the best part about Divi is the templates. You'll have access to over 1,400 templates that include all of the images perfectly sized, and they also include the pages such as the home page, the About Us page, the services pages, and also several other pages. So you will have full access to all these templates for your new website. Okay, party people, so this is the website that I'll be showing you all how to make today. Also in this video, I will be giving you all the demo images and the starter templates to help you follow along in this WordPress tutorial. So let's first take a look at the header. So on the header, we have these social icons. So I'll be showing you how to add these. And then we have this beautiful gradient button that says Get Quote. And of course, you can change this to any font and any color that you want on your new WordPress websites. We have this menu right here with all of the pages, and you can create as many pages as you want. We have our logo, so you can add your own logo. Now, if you don't have a logo, don't worry about that, because I'll be giving you a really good resource on where you can get a professional logo for your new WordPress websites. And then we have this landing page, and of course, you can change this text to anything that you want. You can put my amazing business website or, my dog grooming business or whatever you want. And you can change the colors and the style of it. And then we have this beautiful gradient button where if someone were to click on it, we can navigate them to other parts of the website. So let's go ahead and scroll down. Next, we have these blurb icons. So we have just some upsells, just telling people about our website, like our maybe your services, like marketing, website, and dog grooming. That's an awkward combination, but you get the idea. So you can just add general services that you offer on your website. And then scrolling down here, we have just some text and we have some other icons on the left side. We have this image that just kind of helps add some images and style and decor to our website. And then we have this beautiful gradient text, which I'll show you all how to incorporate gradient text on your website to make it look really vibrant and really amazing. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling down here. And then we have this other section. So this is like a stylish transparent section where we have this text and then we offer our services and what we do, and we just gave it some style and decor to take away from all of that white. So I'll be showing you all how to kind of add design and decor to your website to make it look really attractive. And then scrolling down here, I'll be showing you how to incorporate testimonials. If you have a bunch of people that think your website's amazing or your service is amazing, we can add those testimonials to your new WordPress website. I'll be showing you how to add really nice testimonials to your websites. And then scrolling down here, we just have some other things that you might want to offer, like, go here, check out that, or maybe awards or prizes. And of course, you can change this to anything, and this can be awards, this can be something else. And then we have this gradient button, and we can link them to any part of the websites. And then scrolling down here, we have another call to action, and this just looks really nice. We have this mountain background to kind of take away from that business corporate look. And then we have this button, which again, we can link them to another website or your LinkedIn page or whatever you want. And then we have the number, and then you can also add your email. And then we have some companies that we work with. And then at the bottom, we have this really nice footer where we can talk about where you're located at. We can talk about your hours of operation. So I have Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then weekends, and then just some other services and sections that we can add for your new WordPress website. So it's a beautiful website. I think your visitors are really gonna like this website. So it doesn't really matter what kind of niche you're in. It'll basically work for everybody once you change the images. So next we have the About Us page, and you'll notice we have this banner at the background that represents a business/corporate style. And of course, you can change this background to anything that you want. Everything is fully customizable on this website. And then scrolling down, maybe you can introduce like the owner of the company, or just someone that that works with the company, or something like that. Scrolling down here, we have just some additional upsells saying this is what we're good at, this is what we offer, and maybe just encourage people to actively explore your websites. And then we can list achievements like we have this many happy customers, this is how much staff members that we have, just something to make your website look, engaging and make people want to navigate it and look great. And then we have maybe your staff. So you can add your staff to your website. So we have Jessica Rabbits, we have Robert Brown and Elaine, and we can also list their positions of the company. I'll be showing you how you can add that to your current WordPress website. And then again, we have companies that we work with. And then again, we finish it off with our footer again at the bottom. And let's visit our services page. All right, cool. So this is our services page. And again, we have this banner in the background, and I kind of changed it up. I added like a different style to it because I didn't want it to be too similar. And then here you can list your services. So I'm just acting as if I'm some marketing company where we do business planning, branding strategy, and just things to improve current businesses. And then scrolling down here, we just have some other services that we offer, and we can go ahead and detail and explain what we do for our business. So maybe here you can talk about web development, web design, marketing, or something else like SEO packages, and just talk about your company and just give some more information about your current services. Scrolling down here, again, we have this beautiful section. And again, I like this mountain section because it just takes away from all of that corporate business. It's refreshing. I think when I see this image, it's just, it's just refreshing. I want to go out and, I want to see it, so I'll be showing you how to add this really nice call to action section as well for your website. And then we have your team as well. So if you want to add your teammates again with this really cool animation. So when I hover over it, you'll see how page kind of lifts on the corners. I'll be showing you how to add that to your website. And then again, we just have some current upsells, just reminding people that we work with a lot of reputable companies and that we're a large and reputable company. And then again, we finish it off with the footer at the bottom of the website. Now let's talk about the Contact Us page. All right, and this is the Contact Us page, and as the background you can see there's a bunch of people talking and engaging, and it just looks friendly. It's inviting. I'd want to communicate with these people. And then scrolling down here, we have the Contact Us form. So I'll be showing you how to add a Contact Us form to your website, and if someone fills this out and clicks on Submit, it will then go to your email inbox. On the right side, we have this location of our company, so you can add a location of your company, telling people where you are. And I just put Caesar's Palace here. I mean, I don't know what to put, so I just put in a casino, and yeah, that was the end of it. I just added something on Google's Maps, so I'll be showing you how to add your company on Google's Maps on your website. And then we have just some other information like the address, you have your phone numbers, your email, and then also your hours of operation, just to notify people a little bit more about your website and your services. And that is the entire website. So this page builder is super easy to use. It's 100% visual and drag and drop, so you can edit the website from the front end. So for example, I'll put learn how to make an amazing website step by step. And then I can scroll down, and maybe I want to change this text to computer pros, right? Computer, oh my goodness, computer pros, there we go. And we can change the fonts, we can change the color, the size. And then to this section, if I want to drag elements around, I can say, you know what, I want this text, I want to put it above the gradient on the right side. So I'll just drag and drop it. And then this image, I want to put it where that text was. So I'll just grab the image and I'll drop it right there. So now let's say, I made a mistake on my website. This doesn't look that good. I can just go in my history and redo everything. So I'll just say, you know what, let's just go back to the way it was before. And then there you go. Everything is back to the way it was. And then I can change this to, this is the best WordPress tutorial for the Divi theme. And then I can save it on the bottom right, and there we go. So let's keep scrolling down. Let's just see what else we can change here. So maybe we want to mix and match these elements. So for example, let's say I want the marketing strategy over here on this side. So I'll just take this and I'll drag it, and then take this and then I'll drag it, and we can duplicate rows. So for example, let's just say I want to have this whole row duplicated. So I'll just click on this duplicate button. And there you go. Now we have that whole section duplicated, and then we can drag and drop and edit all these elements at any time. So party people, I have a lot of goodies for all of you. I have a lot of free stuff in this video to help you out. Let's go ahead and get started with this WordPress tutorial. Are you guys excited? Are you ready? Good, because we're gonna build your new website in 5 simple steps. Step 1, we will get your domain and hosting. So for example, myamazingwebsite.com. I'll also show you how to download the Divi theme and also adjust some general settings for your WordPress website. Step 2, I'll show you how to make pages and start designing your website and make it look really professional using the Divi theme. Step 3, I'll show you how to use the theme customizer, some WordPress plugins, and just some additional settings for your WordPress website. Step 4, I'll be teaching you how to make your website mobile responsive. So it doesn't matter what kind of device your visitors are using, such as an iPhone or an Android, your website will look good and be responsive on all mobile devices. And step 5, I'll be teaching you how to use the Divi theme builder and all of the advanced features that Divi has to offer. Divi offers some really cool features that will really speed up the workflow of your website, so I'll be covering all of this in the advanced features section of the video. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video, because I'll be introducing you all to the Divi Marketplace, where you can check out Divi plugins, Divi child themes, and also tons of Divi templates for your website. Now there is a link below in the description of this video. It'll take you to a page to purchase discounted and fast web hosting. And this is NameHero.com. Now NameHero.com performed as the most fastest and one of the most reliable web hosting companies out there. Now, how do I know that? How do you know I'm not just lying to you, right? Well, I actually tested NameHero against 20 other web hosting companies for 90 days, and NameHero performed as one of the fastest and the most reliable web hosting companies on my list. In fact, NameHero had 0 downtime this whole week, so you'll have a reliable and a fast WordPress website. Now, I contacted the owner of this company to give me a special discount, so through my link exclusively, you all will save 70% off your web hosting. If you go to the website normally, you'll only save 50% off your hosting packages, and the owner gave me this discount just for my viewers on YouTube. So when you get to this page, you will click on Get Started Now. NameHero offers 4 different types of web hosting plans. They offer the Starter Cloud, the Plus Cloud, the Turbo Cloud, and the Business Cloud. For those of you who are just getting started out for the very first time, I recommend the Plus Cloud. I think that's suitable. It gives you a lot of SSD storage. It's a very affordable plan, and your website will be very fast. However, for those of you who have been using WordPress for a while and you want to upgrade, I highly recommend the Turbo Cloud. Now, the reason why I recommend the Turbo Cloud is because this plan offers the NVMe storage technology, which is a new type of storage technology for web hosting servers. For example, so this graph is from PCWorld.com, and you'll see that the NVMe storage can transfer data a lot faster than typical SSD and SATA hard drives. Also, you'll see that the NVMe storage can access information a lot faster than typical SSD and SATA hard drive. So for those of you who want a blazing fast website, I think the actual Turbo Cloud is a pretty good option. But I know everyone out there is on a different budget, so just select the package that works for you. And once you select the package, we'll scroll down to the bottom, and then you'll click on Order Now. All right, cool. So this is where you're going to enter in your new website. So for example, mynewamazingwebsite.com or mydogisamazing.com or whatever you want to put. I'll just put demo tutorial 123.com and click on search. And look at that, we get a free domain on top of that. So once you select your domain, you'll click on continue. Lastly, we have the review and checkout, and look at that. You just saved $125. You have a year of web hosting and ID protection for under $70. So you have a very good value with namehero.com. Once you're on this page, you will scroll down. Next, we have the billing details. So you've seen this screen before. You'll put in your first name, your last name, your social security number, your bank account. I'm just kidding, guys. They don't want that information. It's a joke. You'll put in your billing address and any other information you see here. For the support pin, make sure you write this down. So if there's an issue or you want to know something about your account, they will want to know about your pin just to verify that it's you calling, and they want to make sure it's not just some random person over the internet trying to get your info. You'll create a password, which you probably use the same password for all your other websites, right? I'm just joking. I do that sometimes, but I should really stop that. We have the payment method, so you can pay with credit card, PayPal, Coinbase, or credit card, Stripe. Look at that. People are using crypto. In fact, crypto, I think Bitcoin's almost at $20,000 right now. Yeesh. It's crazy, man. It's just going up. And then you can go ahead and fill all this information out. Once you fill everything out on this page, you will then click on the checkout button. Now, I will purchase an account, and I will meet you on the very next page. And congratulations on registering your domain. So this is your current client area. Here you can access your support, you can access billing, you can purchase more domains, or you can upgrade or purchase other web hosting packages if you want to do that. And NameHero has very good support. So at any time you have a problem with your website, under the support, you can open a ticket, or you can contact them anytime if you have issues with the websites. So next, let's install WordPress onto your new domain. Under the My Cloud, you'll go ahead and click on My Cloud. I like this new interface NameHero introduced. They recently remade their whole websites. For those of you who have been with NameHero for a while, you can tell they did a really good job at making their site look really nice. So I will click on the Plus Cloud. The next thing that we will do is we will access the cPanel. So on the left side under Actions, you will see Log into cPanel. Go ahead and click on Log into cPanel. All right, cool. So next, let's install WordPress. Let's scroll down. Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. We're going to find WordPress installer, and we're going to install WordPress onto our domain. So under software, you'll see WordPress Manager by Softaculous. Go ahead and click on that. Next, it's going to say install a new copy. So let's click on install. All right, so this is the software setup. So let's just change some quick settings while we install WordPress onto our domain. For the protocol, make sure you have HTTPS. That just makes sure that your website has a valid SSL, and that just lets people know that your website is secure. For the indirectory, make sure nothing is there. That just means yourwebsite.com. You know, that's it. We don't want it to be whatever that is, so just leave it like that. For the site name, you can give your website a name, and you can also give it a description. So this can be web agency. You guys can see I do this quite often, and I just put cool website agency or something like that. You can change all this later, so don't worry about it. For the admin username, make sure you put something that you know, because you will need this information to log into your website and change it. So I'll put Paddywhack. And then for my admin password, I'll put Paddywhack99. For the admin email, make sure you have access to this specific email, because let's say, for example, you forget your password. You will need to have access to this email to retrieve your password. and I'll scroll down. You can also select your language. So if you speak Chinese, there's a big debate on my channel. So isn't it Mandarin, right? Not Chinese, because there's no Mandarin on this list. But I think Chinese is the new standard of what American calls Mandarin. I don't know. Let me know your opinion about that in the comments below. But I just speak English, so I'll leave this as English. But you can select all of these languages like Spanish, Turkish, Arabic, and all those languages. And scroll down. And then we will click on the Install button at the bottom of the screen. So now it's installing WordPress onto our domain. All right, WordPress has successfully been installed. On the administrative URL link, you can click on this link right here. And congratulations, you have now successfully installed WordPress and your website is now live on the internet. If you want to see what your website looks like right now, under the top left, you can click on Visit Sites. And this is your new WordPress website. So you have a live website on the internet. Pretty cool, right? Let's go back to our dashboard. So while we make changes to your website, let me show you how to log in and to log out of your WordPress website. On the top right, you'll see your admin username. You can click on Log Out in order to log out of your WordPress website. Then I'll just go to the domain. Now, when you want to log into your WordPress website to build it and make changes, you'll go to your website and type in -wp-admin and press enter. Here you will go ahead and enter in the login credentials that you created during the WordPress installation. So I'll put in my email address and my password. I will click on Remember Me and then click on Login. And that's it. So every time you want to log in and log out of your website, you can just go to your domain, type in -wp-admin, and you can access your website. Okay, so your website's live on the internet and it's all ready to go. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to download and purchase the Divi theme. So let's go. On the left side, you'll see Users. Go ahead and click on Profile. Now here you can change the color scheme of the back end and just make it look a little bit, nicer, or your style. Ooh, that is ugly. That is ugly. So I like modern. I think modern's a good one, or midnight. That's also a really nice one. So go ahead and pick your color scheme. And then scrolling down here, we have email. So make sure you have access to this email. Let's say you forget your password, which a lot of people tend to do. Your password will go to this specific email address. So make sure you have access to that email, and you can always change it whenever you want. And also for those of you who want to change your password, on the bottom, you can click on Generate Password. And here you can enter in a new password for your WordPress website. But I'm gonna leave mine standard. And then once you're done with all those settings, you'll click on Update Profile. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to change the links of our website. So we're going to make it look a little bit more cleaner, and we're also going to make it more SEO friendly. On the left side, you will see, where is it again? You'll see settings, settings, and then you'll see permalinks. Go ahead and click on permalinks. So you have these common settings, but you want to change this to post name. And the reason why we do this is because you want it to display your websites, like, darrelwilson.com/about-us, not, 2021, this doesn't look good. And this is a lot cleaner and looks a lot better for SEO purposes. So make sure you select post name, scroll down, and then click on Save Changes. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is that we're gonna make some pages for our website. So if you go to your website right now and click on Visit Site, you'll notice that there's no pages, there's no menu, and it's just like, it looks terrible. We're gonna make it look a lot nicer. Go ahead and click on Dashboard, and under Pages, click on All Pages. Now these pages are created by default when you install WordPress, and you do not need these pages. So to delete a page, you can click on Trash, and click on Trash. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a page. On the top, you'll see Add New. Click on Add New. Okay, and here we have Add a Title. So this will be our home page, right? So Home, and I will click on Publish at the top right, and click on Publish. All right, now we need to make the About Us page. So let's click on the WordPress icon, and click on Add New. Next, we'll make our About Us page. So About Us, or About, either one, About or About Us, same thing, right? Click on a Publish and a Publish. And let's do that 2 more times for the services and the Contact Us. Now, you can make as many pages as you want. You are not restricted in any way, so go crazy, Go crazy. Here we go. Services, publish, and publish. All right, so we made the pages. Now we need to create a menu for our pages. Let's go ahead and do that. On the appearance section, you'll see menus. Go ahead and click on menus. So we don't have a menu right now. So this will be main menu for website. Look at that. I was already messing around with this earlier, as you can tell. I mean, I had to remake the website. Here on the right side, you'll see create a menu. I'll click on create menu. And then under the pages on the left side, you'll see view all. Let's click on all of the pages here. And then I'll click on add to menu. So you'll notice we have the pages. However, for this home page, we have this custom link. Now we don't need custom links. A custom link is basically a link to anywhere on the website. So for example, you can put this to like a GoFundMe account or something, and then you can link the GoFundMe link there, and then that'll display on the menu. So the custom links are just links to pretty much anywhere. It doesn't even have to be your website. But I'm going to remove this custom link, so I'll remove that. And then I'll rearrange this menu. So I'll put the home at the top and the contact us. So that looks good, right? The home, the about us, services, and the contact. Now on the bottom where it says display location, I want to click on the desktop horizontal menu and then click on save menu. So now let's take a look at our website and see what that has done. So on the top left, I'll click on visit sites. And there we go. We got the home page, we have the about us page, the services page, and the contact page. Pretty nice. This theme is really ugly. You know, I don't even know why they made this theme. Hopefully 2021 will be looking a lot nicer. I'm not really sure why they made such an ugly looking theme. So now that we've created our pages, we want people to go to our home page when they visit our website, right? So let's assign the home page as the home page. On the top left, you'll see this customize button. Go ahead and click on customize. Now we will come back to the theme customizer and the Divi options a little bit later in the video, but all you need to do right now, don't panic. First off, go to the bottom of the homepage settings, and then under a static page, you want to select the home page as home. Duh, it's pretty simple, right? So that's it. So home page is home, and then on the top, you'll click on to publish. And that's it. Your changes are saved. So let's click on this X icon. And this is the first page that users will visit when they visit your website. So you'll see how this says Divi theme tutorial, and if they go to it, it'll bring them to our home page. That is pretty cool. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to purchase and install the Divi theme. Now I do have a 20% discount code for all of you watching this video. You're welcome. So you'll open up a new browser, or you can go to my website, darrelwilson.com. I think the link's in there somewhere, but I'll leave the link to purchase Divi in the description below of this video if you want to receive a 20% off discount. So you'll type in Darrel Wilson. Oh, okay, can't spell my name, guys. So darrelwilson.com/Divi20. And there you go, you have 20% off. So this will give you 20% off the Divi theme. Let's go ahead and purchase Divis. Get the discount while the supplies last. So we have two options, and we have the yearly access and the lifetime access. Now, I want to go ahead and say two things before we go on any further, is that no other company offers lifetime access. And in fact, Divi is probably one of the only companies out there that offer lifetime access, and I have lifetime access. So I would go ahead and purchase the lifetime access. Now, second off is that I already have the lifetime access, and there is a 30-day money-back guarantee for any reason. If you just say, hey, Darrel, this video sucks, this theme sucks, you can go ahead and get your money back. So it's a win-win for both of us, because I do get a small commission if you guys do decide to purchase. This helps me make these tutorials for you for free. We have two options again. You'll go ahead and select either one. You have the yearly plan or the lifetime access. Usually what happens, guys, is people purchase the yearly and then they upgrade to the lifetime. That's usually what happens. So once you go ahead and purchase it, you'll click on sign up today. And then you'll go through the process, you know, of creating an account and putting your credit card and all that good stuff. And you'll see at the bottom, they have a lot of positive reviews on Trustpilot. Elegant Themes is a very reputable company. They're not some fly-by-night company. These guys have been around for a long time, very, very long time. So go ahead and purchase the theme, and then I will meet you in the account page. All right, awesome. Welcome to the Divi family. So this is the members area where you can access all of the products. Now, when you purchase Divi, you get access to a lot of other products. You get access to the Divi theme, which was what we're going to use. You also get access to the Divi Builder plugin. Now, what the Divi Builder plugin is essentially you can use any other theme that you want and also use the Divi Builder. So you can use a different theme and use Divi to build your pages if you want to go that route. And then also you have access to Bloom, which is one of the best email opt-in plugins. You have access to Monarch, which is another plugin which allows you to display social sharing in a very professional manner. And then we also have Divi's younger brother, Extra, which you know, it's fading away, you know, but it's still there. There's still light. We still love Extra. It's just a theme for blogs, and you know, it's still there. You know, it's still there. It's still trucking. So good for you, Extra. Good for you. On the section where it says Divi theme and it says download the Divi theme, go ahead and click on download the Divi theme and save this file. Now, what it's going to do is that it's going to save a zip file to your desktop or your computer or wherever you're working on. Now, let's go back to our website and go to our dashboard. So now we need to upload Divi onto our website. We'll go down to Appearance and click on Themes. And now we're going to upload the Divi theme to our website. On the top where it says Add New, I'll click on Add New. And here is a list of some free themes. A lot of these free themes, they're just like empty, like kind of templates. And although they look nice, they're very limited on what you can do with them. And that's hence why they are free. So on the top, you'll click on Upload Theme and you'll click on Browse. And now you'll want to go ahead and upload the zip file that you downloaded from Elegant Themes. I'll click on Open. Next, I will click on Install Now. Okay, awesome. So we uploaded Divi. Now in the middle, you'll see Activate. Go ahead and click on Activate. And congratulations, welcome to the Divi family. You now have Divi installed on your WordPress website. So if you want to see how your website looks now, it might have changed a little bit. On the top where it says My Blog, click on Visit Site. And you'll notice right away how everything looks a little different. We have the home, the about, the services, the contact looks a little different. We have this footer, which looks like crap. Don't worry, we'll change all that a little bit later. We have this default logo, and we also have this sidebar on the right side. Okay, so let's just take a look here. So we have our website, we have the pages, we have our menu, everything set up. So in this next section, I'm gonna show you how to design your website using the Divi themes. Go ahead and get your thinking caps on. Let's make your website look amazing. Let's go back to the video. We're ready to now start designing the website using the Divi Builder. So there's two ways to access the Visual Builder. On the top, you'll see Enable Visual Builder, and this will allow you to build your website on the front end. Also, if you click on Edit Page, there is also another button to use the Divi Builder on every single page. See how on the top it says Use the Divi Builder? Go ahead and click on Use the Divi Builder, or if you're on the front end, click on Enable the Visual Builder. So next, let's click on Edit with the Divi Builder. All right, so they're just welcoming us to the Divi Builder. We have Nick Roach, which is the owner, saying, hey, I'll help you out, blah, 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 blah. But let's just click on Start Building. And here we have three options. We can build from scratch, choose a pre-made layout, and clone an existing page. So on the left side, click on Start Building. What I'm gonna do to help you all out is I'm gonna open up my demo website, and I wanna compare and contrast and teach you how to look at websites and know how to build them with Divi. So here's the website that I showed you all in the beginning of the video. I'm going to show you this website, and then I'm gonna help you understand how to look at any website and kind of build it using the Divi Builder. First, we have this header, a full with header module, and then we have this 3-column row with 3 blurbs. And then under that, we have, a 2-column row. We have text, text, text. We have a text module. Now, this is a special plugin, and we will talk about Divi Extensions near the end of the video that'll make your website look really, really nice. But first off, let's just go back to our website and just go stick to the basics. So here we have some rows where you can add specific rows to your website. So here you can add in a blurb for your first row, and then for the second row, maybe you can add in, a call to action for a button. And then if you want to move these elements, you can go ahead and drag them with this icon and just drag it below it. And there you go. Or I can do that over here as well, just to kind of, mess around with stuff. I can also duplicate elements at any time with this duplicate button. And then I can drag it to the other section like that. So that's just a quick way on how to kind of utilize the drag and drop aspect of this builder. But let's just create a full width section first. So in order to delete a section, you can go ahead and just click on this trash can to delete that module. Or if you want to delete everything inside of this row, I can click on this trash can. Or I can go ahead and click on this trash can, and that will delete the entire section. So first, if you want to add a new section, you'll see this plus icon, and you'll see regular, specialty, and full width. I want to select the full width section, and for this specific section, I want to select the full width slider settings, or the full width slider module. So we have the full width slider, and I'll click on check. Now this top section, we don't need this, so let's delete this. So here we go, we have this full width section. Now whenever you want to access a module or design it, you'll see this gear icon. Let's click on that gear icon. And we have two specific slides, however, I only want to use one. So I'll go ahead and click on trash and only have one specific slide. Let's click on the gear icon to customize this slide. You can put anything you want. I'll just put make something amazing. And then for the button, I'll do start now, right? Or you can put it whatever you want, you know, start now or begin or something like that. Now I'm gonna go to my demo website here and just kind of copy the text just to speed this up because I don't want to, you know, take too long typing everything from scratch because I've already made everything, you know. Paste that in there. Here I have learn how to create your own websites, and you notice how website is colored. Now there's a few ways on how to do that. However, what I just did was I just double clicked on the word, and under the text color, I just changed it to blue. That's all I did. So you can have multicolored text. I mean, right here, I can change this one to red or something like that, you know, like something like that. You know, if you want to add some design and decor, learn how to create your WordPress websites. And then I'll go ahead and go to the design section. And we have these other options right here. So if you want to go ahead and design this specific slide, you can use these to design everything. Now, once you understand how to design one module, you will understand how to design all of the modules. Also, you'll notice that we have these little blue pencils. Now, this is going to display for every module. Whenever you click on this little pencil, Divi will automatically bring you to that section so you can start editing your website as you want. So for the title font, I like Poppins. I think Poppins is a very good font. So I select Poppins. And then I'll do something like, you know, I'll do ultralight or I don't know, light. You can change the weight of the font. See how it's very skinny like that? Or you can make it, you know, ultralight or, you know, however you want. And you can align this text to different parts like that if you want to do that. And then for the text size, I'll change this to something a little bit smaller actually because I want the middle part to be bigger. So I'll leave it like that. I think that's good. And let's design the middle section now. So for the middle section, I'll click on the little pencil icon. I'll change this also to Poppins. However, I want this to be bold. I want this to be ultra bold. And we can change the font style. These are just decorations or designing the specific element. So we can have this italicized, we can have this uppercase. You can change the elements, the alignment of the actual of the module. And then we have the text size. So here you'll see I can make this really big like that. In fact, you can even make this bigger than Divi wants you to make it. So I can put like 100, I can type in 150 pixels and that will make it even bigger. Now the reason why it looks clustered like this is because it's trying to work within this specific box. So it's really like clustered, it doesn't look good. We can always change that, but let's just keep it simple here. I'll just change this to something like, you know, we'll just do 65, something like that. And for the letter spacing, we can make the letter spacing wider. Now let's say, look, I don't know what I'm doing here. I messed up. How do I change this back to what I was doing before? Under every module, you'll see these little icons. So this little, I guess it's a refresh. This will change it back to where it was before. So I'm just going to leave it there. Next, we have line height. So what line height does is that it adds some height in between the specific line. So it just basically adds a little bit of space in between everything. So you'll see here how we have 1.1, 1.2, and I want to add maybe just like one pixel of line height. So now it looks a little bit more cleaner and nicer, right? And then we can add in a text shadow. So if you want to add in this shadow, see how behind we have this shadow like that. You can kind of control the shadow like that. And then you can control the actual blur of the shadow with all these options like that. And I mean, there's so much cool stuff you can do with Divi. I mean, the possibilities go on and on and on. You can even change the color of the shadow. So by default, we use a gray, but if you want to use like a red or another color, you can go ahead and do that. That's just a quick little rundown of the actual styling. We'll come back to it a little bit more when we do the actual modules, but let's go ahead and design this button. So I can click on button right here, or I can click on these pencil icon and that will bring me to the pencil or to the button customization automatically. So on the right side, you'll see use custom styles for button. I want to turn that on because I want to design this specific button. So here you'll be able to change the actual button text size of the actual buttons. By default, it's 20 pixels, but we can make it like 25 pixels. You can also go ahead and change the text color of the button as well, just by clicking on the specific colors. Now, if you want a custom color, you can click on this little icon, and this can you can get very technical with the colors that you want for your specific button. Scrolling down, we have the button background. By default, it's transparent, but if you want to add a background color, you can add in a specific background color to your button. I'll get rid of that. And if you want to add a gradient to your background, you can go ahead and add in a gradient. So you'll notice how on my demo website right here, I added a specific gradient to my button. Now, if you want to get a good color palette for gradients, you guys can go to uigradients.com. This website will really help you out with gradients. So gradients by default, guys, I know every amateur loves them, but they're very hard to carry throughout your website. So let's just say, for instance, we'll just pick a gradient here. I'll just click on a blue one and I'll just select Azure Lane or something like that. Actually, no, that's too many. We're gonna do, there we go. So what you'll do is you'll copy this color code, go back to your website, and under the actual first color, I'll click on that. I'll paste that in there, go back to this website, and I'll paste this second color code and click on that color, and then I'll paste that in there like that. So now you'll see how we have that same color palette from the actual UI Gradients website. You can use that website if you want help with gradients, because I know people like gradients, and it's they're fun, they're nice to have, but again, it's hard to carry them throughout the website. So here we have gradient direction, so you can change the direction of the actual gradients. Also, we have the gradient type. Now there's linear and there's radial. So radial just means the gradient starts from within the circle. So you'll see here how it starts from within, and linear is just basically like a linear style. It's like a directional angle, and you can kind of change the start position and also the end position of the gradient. You can even make a split color button like that. If you want to get crazy and creative, you can go ahead and do that. But there's so many possibilities on what you can do with Divi. It's just it really depends on what you're going for. The color palette that I use for my specific website, let's go ahead and take a look here. I'll just put that in there and paste that. And then for the second color, I have this one. I'll copy that. And then I will go back and just paste it in there like that. So there you go. We have this other option. So we have a button border width. So we have this white border. If you want to get rid of it, just go ahead and just take it off. Just saying, I don't want a border. But if you do want a border, you can add a border to pretty much anything. So you'll see how we have this border. In fact, I can even make the border the same color as the actual button to make it blend in, but I'll just get rid of it for now. Now also here we have the border radius, and this just gives it a circular kind of style. You'll see here how the button gets this like circular style. Now since we don't have a border, it's actually kind of like missing there. So if you want to have like a total circle like that, you'll need to match the colors and then just add a border radius or something like that. Something like that, you get it. So you'll just have to match the color with the actual button border, because technically they're two different things. But I'll just get rid of that for now and just leave that basic. Don't worry, you'll get this whole layout later. Don't worry about it. And then for the button font, you can change this as well to like pop-ins, and you can change it there like that, so on and so forth. So again, once you understand the options for one module, you kind of get it for all the modules. Now, if you want to add a little icon to your button, you can go ahead and do that as well. So you'll see here how that little button pops up. You can change the color of that button. You can also change the placement of the button, so the left side or the right side. And you can also have the button show forever or only when they hover over it. This just means the button will be displayed at all times. And you might want to add a border if you do that, because then it'll look like it's cut off. And then we can change the alignment of the button. So that's pretty much it for this specific module. Now we'll go through all these options a little bit more when we talk about other modules, because this is kind of a bad example to use it for the full slider module. But let's just go back to the actual content and then go to background. So let's say you want to change the background color of your website. You'll click on these little icons, and this is the actual color, so we can add a background color. And, you can add in like an orange or red or black or something like that to match the criteria of your website. Also, if you want a gradient, you'll click on the gradients, and then you can click on add a gradient, and then you can select a specific gradient for your website, just like we did before, so you can have a gradient background. Also, if you want to add in a specific image, which I think is the most standard, you can go ahead and do that as well by clicking on the image icon. So let's go ahead and add an image to our background. So I'll click on the plus image. Now there are demo images for all of you in the description below of this video that you guys can download for free to follow along in this tutorial. You'll click on the select files, and then you'll see the Divi images. So you'll need to go ahead and unzip that folder. And then once you unzip that folder, you can go ahead and upload all those images to the website. Okay, so the images have finally been uploaded. Now there's a few images I gave you guys all just for free. Like for example, this one, I think this is a really good one. It just looks nice. It looks very clean, and it's like multi-purpose. It kind of works for anything, give or take. Or you can do something like this mountain look, where you just want to have that like oh, we're up here in the mountains, and we eat goats or whatever. You can have that, or you can have something like this, which is like the default one that I had. Now, you might come across images online that you love. The problem is that sometimes it's too white and it makes your text blend in, and it looks really bad and you can't see it. So what we can do is we can add in an overlay. So go ahead and click on the slide, and under the design tab, under overlay, we can click on use a background overlay. So now what we'll do is we'll just dim the overlay. You'll see how I have this black or here we go, color, there we go. And I just want to reduce the transparency. On the right side, we have this transparency. We can just reduce the transparency. We can let people know what we can let them know about the image, but we just want to add in a very little like hints so people can kind of see the image, yet also see the text at the same time. So that's just a way on how to add in a background overlay to pretty much any image that you might come across on the internet. All right, break time. So let's talk about my design tip number 1 for all of you building websites. Now, when you're building websites, you can use specific colors, right? However, for your landing page, for your home page, whatever colors you introduce on your home page, that is basically your color scheme. That's your color palette. That's your brand. And you need to make sure that it's understandable right away. So for example, Divi for business. Okay, business website, and we have the colors. Now, if I scroll down on this page, you'll notice, wait a minute. The colors are all different now. These colors don't make sense, because on my home page, why did I introduce this red? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's take a look at my website. So on my website, darrelwilson.com, we have this black color scheme, and we have this black, white, and red color scheme with this specific font and style, right? Now, if I scroll down on the website, you'll see how we keep that scheme consistent. So we have this black text, we have this little abstract red, gray, black design, and I carry that throughout the website. I add in this banner here, and I have this red button. I'm keeping everything consistent. I'm not adding any yellow, I'm not adding any blue. I'm just keeping all the colors here consistent on my website. When you are building your website, you need to make sure that you keep the colors consistent. So you should have a color palette, no more of maybe 3 to 4 colors. No more than 3 colors. Anything more than 3 colors, it just looks tacky. So for example here, I have this purple, I have a red, I have a yellow, and now I've introduced this other color. And then we have this other gradient. It just doesn't make sense. It looks tacky. And if I'm someone who's building, or if I'm someone who's visiting your website, I'm not gonna know what you're trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to achieve here. So make sure it doesn't look ugly, guys. Remember, just keep it consistent. And when you are building your website, just make sure that you're not adding in too many colors. My obvious tip is don't add more than three color schemes or 3 color palettes. So on my website, you might see that I added just a white, black, and red color palette. I did throw in the gradient as a wild card. So this gradient at the top, you'll see, is another color palette that I used. I used this more of a wild card. I do introduce it throughout my website. You saw it on the top bar, you saw it over there. And I think I also added here on the bottoms. I do have maybe a 4-color palette, or 4-color palettes that worked for my website. Just keep that in mind, and remember, whatever colors you introduce on your home page, that is your color scheme, and you must carry that throughout the website. This is a 3-column row, right? 1, 2, 3, and it's 3 blurbs. As we do this, I want to just kind of help you understand, like for example, this next section. This is a 2-column row, right? And this is a text, blurb, and a text and an image. That's it. So let's go ahead and create this section next. Make a new section, click on the plus icon and click on regular. And I'll click on the 3-column row. Now the great part about this is that we only need to make one icon and then we can duplicate it, saving us a lot of the hard work. I'll select the blurb icon. So this is the blurb. Blurb is just kind of like, I don't know, I like the blurb icon. You might want to use something else, but I think the blurb is just easy to work with. So what I'll do is just put in something here like, business solutions. And then over here, I'll just actually just do this. I'll just copy this, paste right here. There we go. And then I will paste that in there like that. Now we can put in an image here. However, we can also use the icons that Divi comes with instead of actually using a custom image. I like using the icons more because I feel like they're very responsive. They work well with Divi, and ultimately just makes things a lot easier. Go ahead and just select an image, and we can go ahead and change the color of that image. So maybe for this one, I'll put in this building right here. We'll put in the building. There we go. We got the building. So. And then we'll go ahead and go to the design tab. So now that we actually have everything done, we need to just design it now. I know it looks terrible, but we just need to just give it some color, give it some fonts, and we're all good to go. I'll click on this pencil icon, and I'll do the pop-ins, and I like the bold here. We have like the ultra bold. I think that looks really good. We can even do heavy as well. I mean, heavy also works. And I want to align this to the center. And maybe I'll change this a little bit bigger, 20, right? And then I think that's pretty much it. So next we have the body text. So the body text as well, change this to pop-ins, and I will put this as a light, right? Or we can do like a light, and we can also center that as well and keep it like that. And then we can change the text of that as well, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it. We just made our module. Now, what I did here to be a little bit more creative, and I want to kind of help you guys think outside the box here, is under the text tab, I kind of made a fake button. So I just typed in read more, and I bolded this. So under here, I'll bold only this one, and then I added this arrow. Now let's say, for example, you want to link this somewhere within this box. You'll click on this insert edit link, and you can insert a URL. So I'll put darrelwilson.com. I can open this in a new window. When someone clicks on this specific link under this read more, it'll actually take them to my website. Essentially what I did here is I just kind of created a button using text. There's no right or wrong way to use a module, guys. However you can use a module, that's what, whatever you're trying to achieve with whatever you want, that's what works. There's no handbook to Divi. It's just whatever you can think of that will work. And I want to change this to black. I want to keep this black like that. So you'll see how this is now a link that we can use to pretty much anywhere we want. Also, you'll notice on my demo website how we have these gray little bars. Now what this does is that it just gives it some separation, and it's too much white. So the gray bars kind of helps it take away all of that white. So to add a border to anything, under the design tab, you'll see this border option. Now we can add a border to the top, we can add a border to the right, the bottom, or the entire box. But I just want to only add a gray border to the right side. So we can add in a small border like that. And that's a little bit too dark, so I want to just kind of reduce the transparency there. So over here, I can just reduce it, just kind of give it like a faint look, right? Not too much, just a little bit like that. And there you go. What we can do next, instead of having to do everything all over again, I'm a lazy guy, I'm very lazy. So I'll just duplicate this module twice, and I will drag this over there. Wait, there it goes. Okay, let's see if we can do that again here. Let's do this. Let's see here. There it goes. Woo. So if that ever happens, guys, you know, I'm not gonna edit that out. That really does happen with me sometimes. So it's just, you know, you just gotta work around with it. So next, let's go ahead and say, all right, Darrell, well, you added this little section here and you pushed it up. How did you do that? Well, let me just show you how I did that. What I did under this section is I added a drop shadow. So under the teal section, under the design, we have a box shadow, and I added a box shadow to it like that. And for the actual sizing of this, I made this a little bigger. So I want to reduce this, I want to increase this width here. I just want it a little bigger, you know, something like that. Max width, there we go. Something like that. Now, one thing also is that sometimes these are too close to the ends, so you can go ahead and just say, you know what, I want this a little bit, you know, in the center there. You might need to adjust things as needed while you're building this. So now that I've done that, we have these three icons. What I can do is I want to push it up here. Now, this is a little advanced, but this is where margin comes in. So there's margin and padding. So let me click on this gear icon, just explain it to you really briefly about margin and padding. So under the design, you'll see, I think it's under spacing. Essentially what margin and padding is creating space. You see how right here we have space and how it's making more space. So padding is creating space above this particular icon. If I do padding on the bottom, it'll create space below the icon. So now it's making more space below it. If I add space to the left, it'll create more space to the left and more space to the right. Essentially what it's doing is that it's kind of pushing everything away because it's too clustered and you want space. Like let's say, for example, I just want more space on the top here. So I can just click on the gear icon under the design. We'll go to the spacing and just say, I want space on the top, like that. And you can do that for pretty much every single module. 100 pixels gives it a lot of space. Now what margin is saying, I just want it to start from a particular area. So that's what margin is in a nutshell. And you can even have negative margin. With negative margin, you can say, well, I want this module to start way up here. So I'm giving it -40 margin. I'm just essentially saying, I want this module to start -40 pixels from where I originally put it. So that's what margin and padding is. So we can use margin for this entire row here. If we did it for one module, we can do it for rows. So I want to go ahead and click on this gear icon and I want to add margin to this entire row. So design, spacing, now we have margin, right? So we have margin on the top, but what I can do is I can add margin to the actual whole entire row and we can push it above it like that. Now you might notice also how we have this space and it's also kind of transparent as well from this top one. We need to add a background color to this. First, I'll go ahead and access this whole row. See, I'll go ahead and double click on this row. And under the background, I want to change this background color to white, like that. So now we have this white background. You know, we just want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't interfere with this top one. Next, let's say, okay, we made this section, congratulations. Now, how do we make this section? Pretty simple, right? We have a 2-column row, text, text, and blurbs, text, and an image. Under this little plus icon, regular, right? And we have a 2-column row. And what would you say? We said text, right? So we have text here. I'm lazy here. There we go. There we go. And then also, we have this divider. So we have text, divider, and text, right? We have text. And I'll click on the plus icon and we have a divider. And then I'll duplicate this text and then I'll drag this text below that one right there like that. And also we have 3 blurbs. So I'll just put in a blurb like that. Okay. And then under this section, we have text. And then we have an image below that text. See, I want you guys to just kind of look at the website and say, okay, I know where everything goes. We just have to design it. So I know this looks nothing like this, but literally all we do is we just change some fonts, we change the colors, and that's it. So for example, we have this section about us, and then we listen and work carefully. Now for this section, I'm gonna introduce you all to H1 tags, about us, and then I'll go ahead and just copy and paste this text, and paste it in there. So with this text, you'll see how we have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5. So I want to change this to heading 2. Okay, there we go, heading 2, and I want to leave it like that. Now when I go to the design tab, you're going to see text, right? I want to design this text. However, we can have different text for each of these ones. So usually, since we have it in one box, it would change everything. But since we have the heading 2 tag, we can now design this text independently from this text. So for the text here, I'll just change this to ultra light. Now you'll notice here how only the top is changing, and that's because the text is default to the paragraph font. So now let's say, okay, Darrel, well, we changed that. How do I change this one? Well, let's go ahead and close that, go to heading text, and we selected the H2 tag, right? Remember how we selected H2? I'll go ahead and change this font now to something like ultra bold. And yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good, right? I mean, I can, maybe increase the size of it. So heading text, H2, and let's make that a little bigger, like that. So that's what that means under the text section, where you see the H1, H2, H3, and all that. Different font and a different size for every H tag, which is pretty cool. All right, so now that that's done, we'll click on this, and this is the divider, guys. A divider essentially adds space in between certain modules. I'll just go to the design, and just under the line, we can change this to blue, because I want to carry that blue. And under the sizing, I want to make this little fat, a little fatty here. We got a fatty, right? That offends a lot of people today. I shouldn't use that word anymore. It's like people on the internet take everything offensive, and it's like, well, it's a fat line, I want to reduce this width. You'll see here how I just kind of reducing the width like that, and that's pretty much it. And here we have the the minimum height, and then we also have the height as well. So essentially what the height does, guys, is we're just adding height above it and below it. That's essentially what a divider module is supposed to do. However, I'm just using it to add decor to the website because I just don't want all of that white everywhere, and I want to create this divider to kind of help people understand what I'm trying to do there. So that's basically how we add a divider. And again, I can always adjust this like that, and also the same way as well. So it's kind of hard to kind of get to all these modules because a lot of them get in the way of each other, but you guys get the point. Now, let's just say, for instance, I want this, I want to make sure that I want to reduce the space here, and maybe this module is like the max space you can add. You can always add negative margin. So remember, design, spacing, and I want to add negative margin to the top and negative margin to the bottom like that, just to give it a little bit more space, something like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's where margin can come into play. It kind of forces everything to work together. Now let's go back to here, and I'll just grab him some demo text, all right? Copy this and, paste this, paste there and then like that. And then I can just change this text to pop-ins, and I think ultra, there we go, that's good. All right, that's good. Or just light, that's good. So now we have this section. Now what I've done on this website is, you see how I have this orange, red, and green? I kind of use that as a color palette. So with colors on your website, guys, you probably only want 2, maybe max 3 color palettes. However, I'm using this as a specific color palette. So I'm just getting a little bit more creative. So let's just say if I introduce this color on my website, I have to introduce it again somewhere. And I did. So I introduced it right here as well. And I also introduced it on the other pages. That's where you want to keep the colors as consistent as possible. There we go. So I have this little module, and what we'll do is just go over here, and I'll just put in, what did I put there? We bring quality experiences. And then, I can just, you guys get the point. And then for the design, I'll just add an icon, but I want to place the icon to the left here. So to the left like that. Now you'll see how we can change the blurb to, a different style, because up here, this is more for like introduction of a service. This is more for something where we're just trying to add, decors and features. So I have the icon on the left side. However, under the content section, I'll click on the image and icon, and I want to use an icon here. And again, we can just use any icon. There we go, like that. And then for the design tab, we can design the color of this. So I can have it blue. Also for the there we go. The text, we can change this to pop-ins, right? So I think the blue little pencils really help you find everything, because it is kind of hard to go through all of these settings and find each particular one. So just clicking on that blue little pencil really speeds up the process of building the website. I'll change this to something like ultra bold. And then over here, I will also change this to pop-ins and make this light. So something like that. And again, we will come back to the image filtering a little bit later. The image filtering is really cool, so we'll come back to this a little bit later. And I just want to duplicate this. And then we can just change the actual color of the icon and so on and so forth. Now this particular module right here, this is created by another plugin called Divi Next, and I will have an exclusive discount for all of you watching this. But essentially what this module does is that it allows you to like have some really cool stuff. On this website, you'll notice how if I click on the plus icon, I have more modules, and this is where we have the Divi third-party extensions come in, which I'll talk more about like at the end of the video. But the extensions they just add a lot of stuff to your websites, and it just makes your website look really cool. Next, we have this placeholder image, and I want to click on this gear icon, and I just want to change this image. I'll just grab an image from one of these here. So I'll just grab in this one and upload an image. So I did talk about the image saturation. I did talk about the filters of the image. So let's go ahead and apply those now to this image. Now that we have a good image to work with, I'll go to the design tab, and then we'll find the filters. So with the filters, essentially what this is like you have a built-in Photoshop. You can just kind of change the saturation, the brightness of everything, which is really cool. You can change the contrast. So you can go ahead and mess around with all these settings. Now, personally, I am not an expert when it comes to, Photoshop. So these are just some things that you can do, like you want to blur stuff. But I'm just giving you an example of how you can apply filters to specific images. So next, let's talk about how to make this section. We have this header section, we have a text, and we have a 4-column row, right? We're going to create a 1-column row, and then we'll create a second row with 4 columns. So 1 column and then 4 columns. And then we also have another 1-column row underneath that 4-column row. So let's just do that. So here, I'll click on the regular, right? Click on 1 row, text, right? We got it. And then what I can do is I can, under the plus icon, under the teal, I'll add in a 4-column row. And I'll just add in a blurb, just to help us understand what we're trying to do. And then we have a text one below that. Now, the reason why I'm doing this like this is because I just want to help you all visualize what we're actually trying to achieve, and just trying to give you some ideas. Now, the reason why I'm not going to duplicate this is because we haven't edited it first yet. So I want to edit it first, and then I want to go ahead and change it. I did forget the divider module, didn't I? Under this plus icon, I'll add in the divider module. Like that. First things first, under this icon, I can go ahead and align this to the center like that. And remember earlier how we used the actual paragraph and the H2 tag? We can do the same thing here, because remember, this text is different from this one. Now, I'm kind of lazy, guys, I'll be honest. So I'm lazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate this section here, right? I mean, why work hard twice, guys? Why? I'm lazy. We're all lazy here. And I'll just drag that below that. And for this section, I'll just align this to the center. And also for this one, I'll double click on all of this and I'll align this to the center as well. So I'll delete that. April Fools. Yeah, we're not using that no more. And for this one, why should we do that again? We can just, duplicate this, right? And then I'll just drag this to the bottom here. And I want to align this to the center. Oops, wrong one. So sometimes you might have problems clicking on a module. Now, if that ever happens, there's a few things you can do. I'll click on this purple icon at the bottom, and right here we have this little brick, or I don't know what those are. We can click on that, and this kind of displays everything about what we're doing. We have this section, row, and we have 2 dividers here. So I'll just go ahead and delete one. I don't need 2, but this is how you can kind of visually see your website from like a block standpoint. It's funny, about a year and a half ago, 2 years, this was the only way to build pages with Divi. They didn't have a front-end builder, so that was version before 3.0, and that was a long time ago. I'll just align this to the center. I believe this is under the, under the sizing. Is it module alignment? There we go, the center, like that. And also, we don't need to really, I don't really want to do this all over again. So what I'll do as well is I'll duplicate this module and I'll just drag it to the bottom and just drop it in there. Now I have this background image, so let's go ahead and add in a background image here. I'll go over here and add a background image. There we go. And then I'll click on that. Now we might need to change these to white. Now, instead of having to do that all over again or even duplicating it, I can copy this module style and I can paste it on other modules. So what I'll do is I'll right click, and when I right click over a module, you'll see certain things. You'll see split test, save to library, all of this stuff. However, I can click on copy module styles and I can paste it right over there like that, and paste it, and then paste it again like that. Now the reason why I didn't change the read more is because the read more, I actually use it through the text editor, so I'd have to go ahead and change that manually. But that's just an example of how you can go ahead and copy module styles from other places and bring them to somewhere else. Now what I did here is I just added a drop shadow, or I can even add in a black background, and I just made it transparent. So there's a few ways on how you can achieve that. So for example, for the first column here, I'll go to the design tab, and under the backgrounds, I just want to add in a black background, right? And I can just make it very transparent. What I'll do is just make this very transparent like that. You see how I did that? Now, also you might notice how we have no space. Remember how we talked about padding before, how we want space above and below? Now's a good time to exhibit that. So for the sizing here, let's see where it is. Where is it here? The spacing here. Let's add some padding of 10 pixels to the top, right? And then we also have 10 pixels to the bottom. So now you can see how we have the padding, and now you can visually see where it should be applied. That's just a really, a good way on how to, add padding and everything to your website. I can even add more here. Maybe 20 pixels is good. Now what I also could have done is I could have added a box shadow around that specific column as well. So let's just say I wanted to add in something like that or like this. I can always add in some sort of design and decor to it. It's really up to you. I like box shadows, but just be careful. Don't add too much of them because it's a quick way to make your website look really tacky. So now that I've added that little background over it, I can go ahead and maybe change this specific column to the left side. You'll see here how I have this column to the left, and I'll show you how I did that. What I did to achieve that is I actually changed the actual size of the column. I'm sorry, the icon. For the image icon placement, I left it at top. I put it to the left side. Now we have this option right here to use the icon font size, and I just made it a lot more smaller, something like that. And for this text, I actually put it to the left side here. So I put it to the left side, and also I put this as well to the left side. So there's really no right or wrong way to do things. That's just how I achieve that. Now, instead of doing this all over again, I can delete these and I can just duplicate that module. So that's essentially how I achieved this section right here. So you can kind of go through ahead and mess around with it. It's the same thing, it's just some small adjustments I need to make, but overall, that's how I achieved this specific section. So let's talk about this section right here. Now, this is pretty simple, and you guys probably know how I did this already because we already introduced it to you earlier. And this is a testimonial icon. I'll click on add a new section, regular, one row, and we have a testimonial. So a testimonial, I'll just put in like the author name is like Jenny MC, and then she's the CEO of, I don't know, Ladies Gym or something like that. And then for the body paragraph, we can put some text here. And then for the design, we can go ahead and design all of this. Now remember, you can just hover over something and just click on it, and then you can adjust whatever you want there. That's just a quick way on how you can, design everything and just, make your design flow a little faster. Now for the image, I'll just go ahead and get rid of that image and put in this woman like that. Now again, you can design this and maybe you even want to add in a specific background image like I did. For the actual background under this section, I'll put in a background image, and I believe I added something like this here. There we go, like that. I'll go ahead and delete that. Actually, no, I think that actually looks better. There we go. or something like that. Actually, yeah, I think that actually works out. And then I also added a drop shadow around this whole specific row. So under the gear icon for the design, a box shadow like that. So now let's say, all right, well, you made this section, Darrel. Let's just go ahead and move it up again. I'll just move it up. So gear icon. Here, I'll go ahead and click on that to get rid of that. Here, there we go, like that. And then for the design, under the spacing section, I'll do the same thing again. So I'll just give it some -100 pixels. There we go. And then I need to make sure that this background is white. That makes it so people can actually see the actual, the white background color, like that. So next, we've done that section. We have this specific section. We have this section, which we've already created. We have text, and we also have a button. And then we have these modules, which these are just blurbs, and they're just designed differently than we normally did. So let's go ahead and make that next section. First, let's go ahead and just say, you know what? I've already done that hard work. Let's duplicate this section. But first, I need to introduce a regular row. And over here, what I've done is we have 1 column, 2 columns, and 3 columns. Now, if you ever want to see how many columns that you have, you can click on this column row and it'll show you the columns and the formats. You can actually change that as well. So for example, if you want to change it, you can click on it and it'll change everything inside of those specific modules to adjust to whatever you want to put. However, I want it to go back to that like that. For this section, I'll click on that little row or column, whatever you want to call it. And then I will drag this, put this in there, right? And then we also have a text like that, but maybe that's too much text, right? Something like that. Now for this text, we can't see it because it's white. So if you want to change the design, we can change it to black, right? Black. And then also we can change this, there we go, there to black as well, just so we can see it. So now that we've actually copied this, what we can do to speed up the workflow is we can actually save certain modules to the library. So let's say, for example, I need this divider module, right? But I don't want to copy it and I don't want to bring it somewhere. I just want to kind of save it and just use it to other parts of the website. So we have this little save button and we can add this to the library. So this will be our divider module. And I will save this to the library. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and click on the plus icon and I can add that from the library instead of having to duplicate it and bring it everywhere, all around the website. Essentially, you can make certain modules, add them to the library, and then you can just kind of use them throughout the website. I want to go ahead and maybe push this to the left side. So all this to the left side, I think that's, it looks better like that. This one as well. I want to push this to the left side. It's kind of hard for me to remember where everything is all the time, guys. So, my bad if I make mistakes. It's just hard to do this because I'm not on a script. Now that we've actually made that specific section, we need to make the button. So we want to make something like this. However, for the button, we will have to make one from scratch because that module is part of another module and we can't use that specific button. What I'll do is click on the plus icon and select a button like that. And then I'll just select it right there. And there's our button. Now let's just say, for example, you have other modules later on and you don't want to go through every single one and you don't want to change them. What I'll do is I'll go to this plus icon and click on button. Now there's a few ways on how you can kind of achieve this little trick I'm going to show you how to do. I'll teach you this later, but I just wanted to kind of give you a crash course about some of the advanced features. So again, what we can do is I can just go ahead and copy this module style and then I can paste it onto this module style and therefore it'll change it to, however I want that to look. Also, we can use the extend styles. So I'll go ahead and right click on this and go to extend button styles. So what this is going to do is that it's going to take this same design of the button and apply it to all of the buttons on this page, this section, this row, or this column. So I'll just say this page and I'll extend the styles. So now it's going to find any button on this page and change it to that specific style. It doesn't change it to this button because this is part of the full width slider module. It's not a specific button module. So that's just some, just a crash course on some of the advanced features that come with Divi. It's really, really cool. We'll talk more about all those features a little bit later in the video. So now I have this section here, and this section is just a blurb. So I just added a image and some text. And what I can do is I can actually just go ahead and copy this module or even add this to the library. So this will be the new blurb. Let's see, blurb icon, and save this to the library. And then we can go ahead and just, I'll put in a 4-column row here and add this from the library. And now we have the blurb icon. Now, essentially what I did is I just added an image instead of the actual icon. Now, one thing to note is I might want to go ahead and change this to black. Let's go ahead and experiment here. I'll go ahead and copy this module styles and let's see if I can paste those module styles here. So here we go. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. It has to be the same module, guys. So I was hoping it would, because it would save a lot of our time. But what I'll do is just change this to black, and then also here I'll change this, the text to black as well, and then there you go. And then also we have that little read more, but whatever, that's fine. All I did here is instead of using the blurb, I just used an image. So for the image and icon, I'll use an image, and then I put a picture of like the woman here. Right? So we have a picture of the woman, and then what I did here is I added a box shadow around this specific column. For the green row under the gear icon, for the first column under the design, I will add in a box shadow to it. Something like that. And also, now that you guys know about what padding is, I want to add some padding to the top, right? Because you see how everything's scrunched together? I want to add padding. So let's add some padding to the top, right there like that. And there you go. And I can just duplicate this module and so on and so forth. So duplicate it, put it there, duplicate it, and then put it there like that. Oh, but here we go. Sometimes, guys, it gets glitchy. You just have to drop it, and it's like a game. You just gotta drop it and hope it works out like that. So there we go. Now, also, I have to add in the drop shadow to all 4 columns just to make sure that it all looks good. For column 1, for the design under the here we go, for the box shadow, right? And then for design column 2, we have, so what I can do actually is I can just copy this row style, copy item styles, and then I'll just paste the item styles here like that. There we go, paste the item styles. Now you'll see how they all look the same. Okay, so next let's add a call to action on your website. Call to actions are very helpful, and you've probably seen these on various other websites. It just adds a lot of navigation to your website. It tells users where to go, and you can link them to pretty much anywhere you want, your contact form. Let's go back to our website, and let's now create a call to action section. So first, I'll hit on the plus icon and click on regular. Now, you've probably already seen specialty. It's just a different style and way you can add different sections. Now, that's what specialty is. I don't really use it too much. I don't really find a big reason to use specialty, but I'm sure there's a reason for everything. If you want to add specialty sections, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to add a regular section and just put in a single column row, and I'll type in text. Okay. Now, I don't really have to edit everything all over again. In fact, what I can do here is just take this and duplicate this, right? And then maybe even just drag this down and just use this section, just add it there, and then center align this. And I'll hit the plus icon, and here I'll type in a button like that. And then you can put in the link. So this can go to like darrelwilson.com or something like that, right? So darrelwilson.com. And what I'm going to do here is, remember, we need to be smarter here. We don't want to work too hard. So there's a few things I can do here. I can copy this element, drag it, or I can copy the module styles, and then I can paste it here instead of having to do everything all over again. Something like that, right? And then I can center align this as well by going on the design tab, and on the alignment, I will center align this. Now we need to add an image on the background. I think that's the only thing that we need to add. What I'll do is under the gear icon for the section settings, under background, I will, no, not color. We'll go to an image and we'll add a background image. Now I did give you the image for this specific background as well. It's at the bottom here. It's this little mountain, and I'll upload this image. And there you go. Now the only thing that we need to do is probably change this text to white, and I think that's pretty much it. All right, cool. So I uploaded that image. Now I might want to add a specific overlay to this background image because it's kind of hard to read this text since we have this white mountain. So what I can do is if I scroll down, I will then see the background image blend. So I'll click on that, and there's various ways you can blend it in, but I'll just click on soft light. Now, once I click on soft light, you'll notice how everything disappears. But all I need to do is click on the background color, and I need to add a specific color for that color blend. I'll click on the plus, and I'll select black. So now I have this black background, but what I want to do is click on this color, and I want to reduce the transparency now. So now you'll see how it kind of blends in really well, and it just looks great. So something like that. And then we click on check. And then there you go. Now, if you want to adjust this section, I can adjust it like that and also like that as well. And you can make this text bigger or smaller, just depending on how big you want your call to action to be. Don't make it too big, but something like that is pretty cool. So next, let's go ahead and create this section here, which is a very unique section. You'll notice here how we have this text, and it's also overlapping. However, it's this kind of circular style, which is really unique. So let's quickly go ahead and create that, and we are pretty much done with our homepage. So add a new section, regular, right? Normal, text, and I'll just paste in some demo content, and I'll make sure that's center align, which is good, right? So I'll close that. Now I might want to actually reduce the size of this whole column. It's a little big, you know, so what I can do is I can reduce the size of this whole column, of this teal column. So what I'll do is I'll click on this gear icon, and for the design tab under the sizing, what I'll do is for the width, I'll change this to something like 65. And then for the max width, I'll make this 614 pixels. So a little bit smaller, just a little smaller. So if I hover over it, I'll click on check. You will then see how the whole column gets smaller, and that's what I want because I don't want the overlay to be too big when I push it up. So let's go ahead and continue. Under the gear icon, I'll click on that, and for the design, I want to add a border radius. So remember, a border radius you can use for everything. It just gives things that circular style. So for the border, I'll add, let's see, 26 pixels around the whole module, and you'll see how we have the borders. Now you can kind of visibly see what it looks like. And then for the content background, I need to actually give this a background color of white. So I just want to make sure that when it goes up, that it doesn't like fall in there and you know, it shows the background. So I added in the background. Now let's push it up. That's all we got to do. So for design, we have the spacing. I want to go ahead and give this negative margin of maybe minus 60. Does that work? Minus 60 pixels. Nope, a little bit more. And perfect. We'll just do it at like maybe 85. Now there's one thing that we're missing, and we're missing a box shadow. The box shadow just kind of adds emphasis around this whole section. So I'll click on box shadow, and I'll just add a box shadow, and we can add different styles. So that's how I achieved that specific section. I did post that in my Facebook group, and a lot of people were asking me, like, how did you do that, Darrel? And I was like, well, you just got to think outside the box there. But let's go ahead and make this last section, which is pretty simple. Add a new row, 5 columns, and I just added in an image. I mean, that's it. That's all I did. And then for the image, I just added in one of these demo images, and that's it. You're done. And I can just duplicate this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And congratulations, guys. You are now done with your homepage. You made it this far, go get yourself a beer. My favorite beer is Modelo. So at this point, I think you're very familiar now with the builder, and it's really up to you to kind of, you know, make the step and just explore other modules, seeing how you can improve your web design process. All right, party people, welcome to design tip number 2. Now, I want you to tell me what's wrong with this picture or website. So I'm just gonna scroll down and I want you to visually look at it and say, okay, what's wrong with this website? We have our landing page, okay? The next section, we have welcome to Royal, and we have this picture of fruits or vegetables, okay? And then we have fresh ingredients, tasty meals. What's wrong with what I just showed you all? Well, you might notice that I used a different font for pretty much every section. So I have one font here, and that font, obviously, it's unique and it works, right? But now we have this other problem is we added another font and another font. And if I scroll down here, we added another font and we have this different font. When you're building your website, you need to keep the fonts consistent. Now, a general rule of thumb is to have 2 fonts most. Don't go more than 2 fonts. So you can have a font that introduces your heading tag, and you can have an additional font that introduces the smaller text. For example, I use Roboto in a lot of my smaller fonts, and then for my larger fonts, I use Poppins Bold. So you can get away with 2 fonts. However, you want to make sure that you don't use a large amount of font, because then your website just looks tacky. I mean, we have only quality food, and then we have this welcome to Royal, and then we have this other one. It's just confusing and it just looks tacky and ugly. So when you are building your websites, make sure to stick to around 1 to 2 fonts and keep it consistent. On my website, you'll see that we have this Poppins Bold is my H1 tags or H2 tags, and I'm just consistent. I mean, you can click on this blog post here and I use the same font as well, and I use a different font for the smaller text. Okay, so that is a general rule of thumb. A lot of amateurs, they like to add multiple fonts, but just be mindful that it will turn your website into a complete disaster if you added multiple fonts, guys. So you don't want an ugly website. Keep your fonts under 2 fonts. Well, now that you're all professionals, let me quickly show you how to import the other pages along with making sure your contact form is working on your WordPress website. In the folder that I gave you all that you downloaded, if you open it, there is the About Us, there is the Divi header, the services, and all these other pages. You can go to your pages and open it, and then you can enable the visual builder. And you can basically drag and drop this on every page to make sure you get your layout and everything is working the way it's supposed to. I enabled the visual builder on the About Us page, and then I'll just drag and drop the About Us section, replace the existing content, and import the Divi Builder layout. You can do this for every page. All right, and there we go. We have the About Us page, and everything looks great. So go ahead and go through the other pages, and you can import them all on your website. And there you go. There is your free layout. You're welcome. Now let me go ahead and show you all how to make sure that your contact form is working on your website. First, let's go to the contact page. Next, I will enable the visual builder. All right, we have these 3 options. So I will build from scratch, click on X. I will find the contact us page and drag and drop it. Then I will click on import Divi Builder layout. And there we are. So now you have this beautiful contact us form. You are welcome. Now this is the contact form module. You can get to this module by clicking on the plus icon and typing in contact form. And this is the module that you need to insert in order to have a contact form. However, this layout already includes it, so you don't have to do that. This is the actual contact form module. The contact form settings includes any field, so you can have one for name, email, message, phone number, fax machine, and whatever else you want to have on your contact form. The contact form for elegant themes is amazing. There's so much you can do with it. You can have conditional logic, and there is a lot of things that you can have on your contact form. I do have a video on the contact form. It is a little old, so I will be updating it, but I'm not going to go into detail on this contact form because there is a lot to talk about with the contact form. However, I just want to show you right now how to accept emails from your contact form in case you want to use it on your website, which I think most of you will. Once you open the actual module, you'll see these options. Click on the email, and then for the email address, just put in your email. That's it. So I'll put in my email address. Now we can also set a redirect. So for instance, let's say someone fills out your contact form. after they hit the submit button, we can redirect them to another URL, like a thank you page or a terms and conditions page, or any page that you want to have users go to after they fill out the contact form. But I'll be saving a tutorial on the contact form for another video, because again, I want it to be very thorough. I just didn't want to make this video too long, because I can easily talk about the contact form for another 30 minutes. And then you'll click on the green check and click on save. And that is it, you are done. So now when someone goes to your contact form and fills it out, it should go directly to your email inbox. On the right side, we have this Google Maps. This Google Maps is essentially an embedded form from Google Maps. You'll see that this is just code from Google Maps, and I'll also show you how you can quickly add Google Forms or Google Maps on your website. Okay, the first thing you'll do is go to Google Maps and you will enter Google Maps. On the top left where it says search Google Maps, you'll just put in your business address or whatever you want people to see on your Contact Us page. I will type in the Red Rock Mountains near Nevada, and I'll click on the Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area. I actually used to live right here, and these mountains are just beautiful. I mean, the Red Rock Mountains, I mean, I hate to go off topic here, but for those of you living in the United States, you definitely have to check out the Red Rock Mountains. They are beautiful, and there is tons of hiking. I mean, look at the multicolor here. It's pretty wild. So now that you actually have the address of whatever you want to have, so your business or anything else, where it says share, you'll click on the share icon, and you'll click on embed a map. You will then click on the copy HTML, and then go back to your website. And for the text, under the actual text element, you'll click on text, not visual, and you'll paste that in there, right there. And then click on check, and there it is. So now you'll see the Red Rock Canyon National Conservative Area, and then you'll see the conservation area. Whoops. So you'll see the location, and then you can click on save, and that's how you can show people where you are at or where your business is located on your website. All right, party people, welcome to another quiz. So this is going to be design tip number 3, and I get this common mistake with a lot of amateurs building websites. So I want to visibly show you what I'm talking about and show you how to fix this problem, just in case you add this to your website, which a lot of amateurs tend to do. I get a lot of people in my Facebook group asking me, hey Darrel, I just made this website, what do you think about it? And I get this problem quite a bit with a lot of amateurs. So let's just take a quick look at this website and then try to understand what we did wrong here. So let's take a look. We have the landing page, looks good. And we have the secondary section, welcome tutorial, with a picture of some vegetables. And then we have the third section, which is just some text and another image. What is wrong with this website? Well, if you guessed that we have too many background images, you're absolutely right. So a common mistake that I see with people is they don't know how to introduce new sections. So we have this image in the background, which is good. However, when you introduce a new section, it's very safe to have a color and image. So just remember this color palette: image, color, maybe another color and an image. So maybe do like 2 colors and an image. So this background should be a solid color. There's no reason why it has another image with another image on top. And then on top of that, we have a third image. So at this point, I don't know where the website's going. I don't know what it's doing. It's just all over the place. So let's just take a look at a layout Elegant Themes created and follow their design criteria. So they introduced their landing page with an image, right? That makes a lot of sense. And then they added the secondary section with just a standard color in the background. That again makes a lot of sense. And we have this third section, which they've also introduced another color. And the reason why I like this is because they've made it this faded color. So as someone who's navigating the website, we know that it's a new section, right? Because if this were white as well, I would be confused. I'm saying, well, is this part of this page, or is this part of this section, or is it part of this section? So since Elegant Themes added this very faint color, it basically distinguishes and tells people this is a new section to the visitors. And if I scroll down, now you'll see how they started to add in different images. So they could have even added a background image, but since they've already added images to this section, they probably felt like, let's not add in more white. let's add in a black color palette, but let's just introduce some images here to take away from all of this white, because there's too much white at this point. Because if they were to involve a third section with all white, the website would look bland and boring, right? So let's keep scrolling down here. All right, we'll keep scrolling down. And now they've also said, okay, let's just go back to the basic color, right? Let's just go back, no more images. Let's just, stick to a basic plain color. And scrolling down here. And again, they stuck to another color. You'll see how this is a white color on the top. And then this is another, I want to say it's like a darker white. But the overall purpose is they're just telling the users that this is a newer section. And they haven't changed the color palette. They've just kind of tinted it just a little bit to let people know that this is a new section. So I'll scroll down, and then they decided, okay, let's add in some images because now we've added in too much white. So let's just take away from all that white by adding in some images on the background. And then that would be the end of the website with the footer. So just remember that when you are building your website, you want to introduce specific sections with specific colors and styles to tell your visitors that this is a new section and that this is something they should look forward to. So if I had this all as a white background, it would look bland and boring. However, if there's too many images, the people would be confused, saying, okay, image, what is going on here? This is too much. So even on my website, we have this image, we have this color palettes. Now you've noticed also right here, we have this second section. Now I added a very small tint of white, but you've also noticed how I've reduced the strength of this color because I didn't want to introduce the same strength of the colors twice because then the website would look, repetitive at that point. So I have this section and then I'm saying, okay, Darrel, look, I have too much white. Let's introduce some black, to kind of take away from all of that white. And now let's introduce a new section. So we have this new section here. However, I took away from the abstract designs. So I don't have those little red things here anymore because it was too much and I just want to take away from that design. So I want to have every single design distinct. And then here I added in the black. However, I added in these little designs again to kind of remind users that this is my brand and this is my style, just so they remember, oh, okay, I remember the designs. And then we finish it off with a footer at the end. So just remember to incorporate different designs and different styles for every section. Do not add too many images and also do not add too much color. And if you do add color, make sure you just introduce a tint of something to just take away from all of the whites or to, not make it look so bland and boring. That is a very common mistake I see with a lot of amateurs. But now that I've told you how to fix that, go ahead and make sure you don't add that to your website. That was my design tip number 3. And if you guessed right, congratulations. So congratulations, your website is coming along pretty well. Now guys, feel free to pause the video and mess around with the builder, check out some other stuff. I know people like to kind of mess around with other stuff, so go ahead and do your thing. But in this next section, I'm gonna show you all how to use the theme customizer. I'm gonna introduce you all to WordPress plugins, and then we'll also talk about the Divi theme options. Let's go back to the video. Welcome back, guys. So in this part of the video, I'll be talking about the theme customizer options, the Divi theme options, and also give you some good resources on WordPress plugins and where to get a logo as well. The first thing that you'll do is let's access the theme customizer first. On the top left, you'll see my blog and the theme customizer. You can also get there by going to your dashboard, and usually there's this button here that says customize your site. That's the same thing, so it brings you to the same exact place. So the theme customizer generally controls parts of the website that the page builder normally does not. To be very honest, I don't use the theme customizer a lot with page builders. I feel like the theme customizers are becoming a little outdated. The only thing that I would use on the theme customizer is probably the header navigation to design the menu, and then just the homepage settings, which we did earlier. I'll first go to general settings and go to site identity. Now for the site icon, you might want to add something there. You'll see how on the top right here we have this icon and an icon. If you want to add your icon to browsers, you can select a site icon. So under media library, I'll just grab a picture of this logo and click on select and just use part of that. On the right side, you'll see how this now is part of the browser icon. So if you want to add a site icon, you can do that from the theme customizer. Let's go back here. And under layout settings, this is again where you can just control the layout of your website. So if you want to have like a box width, which is kind of old school, but I think a lot of, I don't know if people still do that or not. It's, I don't know. I think that's like back in the 2000s, right? But you can enable a box layout. Under the header navigation tab, this is where you can customize the menu. For example, the primary menu bar, you can make this full width. You can change the text size, the menu height, and all the options to customize the menu are in the primary menu bar section. Next, we have the secondary menu bar. For example, if you have a drop-down menu, you can design the drop-down background, or you can design the font of the actual drop-down menu as well. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these options. Personally, I think you're not going to use any of these. You're probably only going to use the homepage settings, but you can just check these out, see if these apply for your website. But for most of us, I don't think we're going to use the theme customizer too much, only for maybe just the actual menu. So let's move on to the Divi theme options. I'll go ahead and close this. Now, when you install Divi, on the bottom left, you'll see Divi and you'll see theme options. The Divi theme options allows you to upload your logo. It enables smooth scroll, a fixed navigation bar, and other cool various options. I'll scroll down and let's say, for example, you have those social media icons at the bottom right of the screen on your website. You can enable those or you can disable those if you want to do that. A really cool feature that a lot of people overlook in the Divi theme options is the smooth scrolling, which I love. If you enable the smooth scrolling, it allows your visitors to have a smooth scroll effect on the website like this, instead of having it jagged and something like that. The smooth scroll effect, I think, makes your site look a lot more professional, and it just feels good from a visitor point of view. You can enable the back to top button, which on the bottom right of the screen on my website, you'll see if I click on it, it brings users back up to the website. So the Divi theme options, it just has other various options and styling things that you can add on your website that just make it feel better and just, give it a little bit more emphasis on design. Now, if you need a logo, I recommend going to Fiverr.com. I'll put a link below to Fiverr.com. Personally, I've seen videos where they recommend free logo makers. But guys, if you're really serious about your business, you wouldn't mind spending, $5 to $10 on a logo to make yourself look really professional. Because personally, if you're using free logos, it's just something that you're not really going to attract people with. But if you just spend like $5 to $10 on a designer to make a really nice logo, you can go a lot farther than that with your business. And just remember, a logo is a representation of you and yourself. So if you have a great logo that looks fantastic, people will like it. In fact, I got my logo from Fiverr.com. So my logo on the top left, you'll see, I got that from Fiverr. I found a designer. We worked together. I paid him more than $5, obviously. I paid him around $50, but I think it was worth it. I like the logo and I'm really happy with it. So make sure to check out the Divi theme options. You might find some options in here that apply for you and your website. Next, let me talk to you about WordPress plugins. If you go to plugins on the bottom left and you click on add new, you'll have access to over 50,000 plugins. Essentially what plugins are is they are applications for your website. Every plugin has a specific feature and there's pretty much a plugin for everything. I mean, I have so many tutorials on plugins and all the features that they offer. For example, this one will actually reduce all of the image sizes on your website, making your website load faster. If you feel someone's trying to hack your website, you can install this plugin, which will limit the login attempts. So that means if someone tries to log in 10 times, it will ban them from trying to log in. We have this one, which is a caching plugin, and this one as well, a caching plugin. So there's a lot of plugins that you can have on your website, and there's really no best plugin, but there is a good list that I do recommend. On my website, darrelwilson.com, under the WordPress resources, I do have a lot of plugins that I recommend and page builders. Obviously, Divi is one that I do recommend. These are other WordPress themes. Now, popular WordPress plugins, I think you would need an SEO plugin for your website like Yoast or Rank Math. It basically makes your website look proper in the search engine, and it just, adds a lot of SEO features for your website. Also, something like Translate Press. For those of you who are trying to make a multilingual website, you can try Translate Press. And e-commerce plugins, best optimization plugins. Personally, I would use WP Rocket. It's a paid plugin, but you want to make sure you have a good caching plugin on your website. So go ahead and check out some of the free caching plugins. But again, I would recommend WP Rocket, and that's the one I use. Scrolling down here, we just do have some other ones, and these are booking plugins. So if you want to convert your website into a booking membership website, these plugins are the ones I recommend. And I've spent probably years with trial and error on good and crappy plugins. So I think I have a good understanding of what good plugins are. And these are web hosting companies that I do recommend. So be sure to check out the list of the resources I put on my website. That's the end of the Divi theme options and the plugin section of this video. Be sure to check out the resources tab on my website to make sure that you find some really good plugins for your WordPress website. So now that you're all professionals, let's go ahead and talk about mobile optimization, which is a very important part of this video. So you want to make sure your website looks responsive and good from all devices, such as iPhones, tablets, or Androids, or PCs, or Macs. So let me go ahead and show you all how to optimize your website for all mobile devices. Let's go back to the video. All right, party people, welcome to the mobile optimization section. Now we have a website here and it needs some help, guys. It looks terrible and we're gonna make it look a lot better. In fact, if we visit our website on various devices, this website looks terrible. So we're gonna go ahead and optimize it for all of the devices. Under this little purple icon, on the left side, bottom left, you'll see this computer. You'll see a tablet, right? I'll click on the tablet. Now this is the view from a tablet point of view. So I'll scroll up here. And this is the view from a tablet. And also I'll click on the phone and scroll back up. And this is what our website looks like on a, on a phone, right? So we need some help here. Now also on the phone view, you can actively see what your website looks like on specific devices. Isn't that cool? Let's say you want to see what it looks like on an iPhone 11 or a Galaxy A6. And this is a new feature Divi just added. I mean, those guys are just, they're crazy over there. I don't even know how they think of all this stuff. First things first, let's click on the desktop view and let's just change this really quick on the desktop view. So I'll click on the gear icon, right? And under this little section, I'll click on that. And let's just change this, let's just change the letter spacing here. I'll reduce it to normal, 0, making it a little bit more, right? Something like that. And then I'll change the line height as well. Let's just clean that up a little bit, right? Now, when you edit these like texts or whatever you're editing, you'll see this picture of a tablet and also a phone. So let's click on the tablet device now. So let's go back, scroll up here. It's kind of annoying how it keeps doing that to us. On a tablet, because now we selected it to 80 pixels. When you're editing your website, you just want to say, okay, I want this to be maybe 85 pixels, something like that. And that looks good. Next, let's click on the phone section and scroll back up. We have some work to do here. First things, let's just reduce the size of this text and let's change the height. Click on this pencil, right? And then for the text size, let's reduce it, let's make it a little bit more simpler, right? And let's change the line height. Let's there we go, reduce it a little bit. Here, I'll just refresh it to what it was before. So I had it at 1.7 before, right? And yeah, I think something like that is good, right? Now this title text is too small now. This text is, it's good size, but we need to change this one. So I'll click on this. And I'll go back down, and under the phone icon, I will increase the size of this. Something, that can work, that can work, or even that can work. Now you get, at that point, I would say, okay, that's fine. So now let's keep scrolling through the website to see what's wrong. So everything looks good. And we have this section, and this, again, this is too big. The font is just, it's kind of clustered everywhere, and we want to make sure that we can change this as well. Let's go ahead and change that as well. I'll click on check really quick under this section. Oops. Let's go back and click on the phone icon. Yeah, sometimes the builder just gives you some weird stuff you just kind of work with. So now you see this section here, and this section is just too big. Go ahead and reduce the size of this for mobile. So I'll click on the gear icon, and under the design tab, or I can just click on the blue pencil instead of navigating throughout the editor. Scroll down, and I'll click on the phone. And under the phone, we can reduce the size of this to make it look a lot more cleaner and nicer. So that looks really cool. And this section, maybe we can change, the S. I mean, we can change that as well. Just the S is just a little cut off there. Let's change that as well. So the design, and then we have the text size. We can just reduce it a little bit, you know, just make it look good like that. And then scrolling down, I think everything else looks pretty good. Now let's talk about, okay, so I know how to optimize my website for mobile, but maybe there's specific sections that you do not need for tablet and phone. Like for example, if I scroll down here, do I really need this image here? You know, I don't really need it per se. You know, you might come across images that you don't need. You know, I don't want this image, so let's get rid of this image. I just don't feel like it's necessary for people on tablets. It's too big, and it's just, you know, they don't know what's going on here, so let's get rid of it. I'll click on the gear icon, and under the advanced section, under visibility, I can disable this on the tablets and also the phone. And then I will click on check. So what that means is I want to go ahead and get rid of this section because it's just not necessary for people visiting my website on a tablet or a mobile device. And you can do that for pretty much everything. You can go ahead and check out or disable certain modules, and you can also disable certain sections. So let's say, for example, this top destination section, you do not want it on your website for mobile and tablet users. I will click on section settings, advanced, and then for visibility, I will disable this also on the phone and the tablets. That's how you can kind of disable certain sections of your website for specific devices. Now, let me give you all a very good strategy that I used when I was getting started with web design, and you can use this strategy on your own as well. For example, we have this section here, right? But maybe you don't want this landing page for mobile users and tablet users. Watch what I do here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this section. So now there are two of these sections, right? And for this one, I'll put explore the world, and I'll just leave that. I'll just leave that like that. I just think this is good. However, I want to disable this section for tablet and mobile users. So I'll click on the gear icon, and under the advanced tab for visibility, I will disable this section on the tablet and the phone, right? And click on check. So that means people visiting this website will not see this on a tablet or a phone. However, I want to have a section specifically only for mobile users. So for example, when you visit a website on your phone, have you noticed sometimes it looks different from the actual desktop version? Maybe it might look 100% different, right? That's because a lot of developers feel that it's not necessary to show the home page on a computer and this on a tablet or a phone. Like for example, if you are selling a product on a phone device, you might want to have a different landing page for that. For me to achieve this whole result, what I'll do is click on the gear icon and click on the advanced tab and go to visibility. And I want to disable this on the desktop. So that means visitors coming to my website on a computer will see this. Visitors coming to my website on a mobile device will see this instead. So now you'll see how this looks really cool, you know, for a tablet user, and this is disabled. That's a very key strategy for mobile optimization, and I think that's a very common practice now, especially with large tech companies who want to navigate their users to a specific part of the website easier. And now let's go to the mobile-friendly test. So now I will type in my website, DiviThemeTutorial.com, and test this URL. I'll put this in the description, of this video as well. Let's say you're editing your website and you're just not sure if Google thinks it's responsive. Well, you can ask them saying, hey, is my website mobile friendly? And congratulations, so your website is mobile friendly. So Google is saying your website is mobile responsive, and you'll see how this says register for digital nomad life, because remember, visitors on a tablet or a phone will only see this page and not the default page of this one. Now we know our website is working. So congratulations. That was the mobile responsiveness section. You'll want to go through every single page and make sure your website is mobile responsive. Congrats on learning how to make your website mobile responsive. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. Hey guys, welcome to my design tip number 4. Now, as you're building your website, you might come into a common problem that your website is running slow. You're gonna say, hey Darrel, I built the website using Divi, but now my website's really slow. What's wrong with Divi? What's wrong with my web hosting? And generally around 90% of the time, it's neither. It's the images on your website. If you go to my website and you go to Fix Slow Websites, I have an article, and I just want you to follow each one step by step. And I promise you, if you follow these step by step, your website will load faster. Number one, which is the biggest problem for most amateurs, is your page size. You want to keep your page size under 3 megabytes. What that means is don't go to your website and just add in random images that are very large, because what's going to happen is that these images will usually be massive and they will slow down your entire website. If you want to measure the size of your page, you can go to tools.pingdom.com. I also have this on the ultimate list of resources that you can check out. It's on my website under the website resources, and these are all free. They don't cost you anything, or some of them do. You got to pay for Fiverr, you got to pay for ThemeForest. Pingdom is down here. Pingdom is what I use to test the speed of the website. For example, you put in your domain and then you'll see your performance grade. My page size on this website is 4.5 megabytes. So as a result, because I'm on shared hosting, my load time is 3.36 seconds, a little high. I want to keep that under 3 seconds. If I go back to my article here, what other things that you can do is you can, get reliable web hosting, which you all did, image optimization, and you can use Tiny JPEG as a great resource. So maybe a lot of you aren't good with Photoshop and you don't know how to reduce the image size. You can just drag and drop your images on this website and it will drastically reduce the size of the images, speeding up your website. For example, I had an image of 714 kilobytes and we reduced it just to 76 kilobytes. That's another thing about your post. Your images should be no more than around 100 kilobytes. So if your images are more than 100 kilobytes, you probably could do some work and reduce the size of it. Also, add a caching plugin. That makes it so your website doesn't have to keep loading everything all over again for every single visitor. It creates a cached version of it, and also reduce the JavaScript and CSS. JavaScript and CSS is basically all those really cool animations and all those cool graphics and everything. That is JavaScript, and the more JavaScript that you have, the more your website will be slow. So I made some modifications to this specific website. I want to retest this specific domain. So I'll click on save here, and you'll see that this is Divi theme tutorial. However, I just decided to optimize around 5 or 6 images on this website, and now I want to retest it. So I'll retest it. I am closest to Washington, DC, and I will click on start test. And I'll show you all how to read this chart so you can know what to look for when you are running these speed tests on your website. Okay, so my result is 3.1 megabytes. I reduced the page size, and as a result, my website is now loading at 1.8 seconds, which is fairly good. You want to keep your load time under 3 seconds. Now I'm going to show you all how to read this chart. We have the image, the font, the JavaScript, and the CSS. You want to keep the images, try to keep it around 2 megabytes or under. I'm a little lazy. I could have probably reduced this a little bit more. You want to make sure your JavaScript is low. JavaScript are those fancy animations, and every time you add an animation to your module or you add an animation to something, that is JavaScript. So just know that it will slow down your website in the long term. And we have the CSS, which we have fairly little, and CSS is actually good. CSS is a lot lighter than JavaScript, but the main thing here is you just want to make sure that your JavaScript is no more than 1 megabyte. Your CSS, you'll probably never get to 1 megabyte anyways. And your images, try to keep it under 2 megabytes. 2.5 is a little bit too much, but still the website's loading at a decent speed, so I don't think that's a big cause for concern. I just find a lot of beginners tend to say their website's slow because of WordPress themes or something, but it's exactly what you put on the website that is the end result of making it fast or slow. So check out this guide. It's a great guide. I spent a lot of time making it. I was very thorough. I give you examples of my website and other websites on how to make your website with optimal performance. So remember, no one likes a slow website. Always optimize all of the images and everything on your website to make sure your website is loading fast for all your visitors at all times. All right, you guys made it to the last step. This is like the final boss of a video game. So in this section, I'm gonna introduce you all to the advanced features of Divi. In the video, there are some advanced features I didn't cover. I'll be covering all of the advanced features that Divi has to offer. I'll also touch base on what third-party plugins are, and I'll introduce you all to the Divi Marketplace. All right, party people, welcome to the advanced section of the video. So in this part of the tutorial, I'll be teaching you about how to use the Divi theme builder along with all of the other advanced features that come with Divi, such as creating custom headers and footers, custom 404 pages, and also custom post pages with dynamic content. First things first, let's create a new header and a new footer for our website. Now, on my website, darrelwilson.com, if you go to the View Layout section, you will actually get templates that will help you follow along in this part of the video. So right here we have custom footer layouts. Now, these were all created by Elegant Themes, and these just create some really nice footers on your website if you want to add those and upload them to your websites. There's also the Divi Theme Builder Pack, which you can download and have different styles of 404 pages or different category pages and so on and so forth. And also I do have a header UI kits. So this is the Divi UI kit that you can also download, which just comes with just various header styles for your website, and it's completely free. You can go ahead and download any of those. And once you download those, or once you decide to use whatever one you want, let's go ahead and activate the theme builder. So let's go over here to my dashboard. And on the left side, you'll see Divi and go to theme builder. Now remember, essentially what the theme builder is creating a custom header and a footer for various parts of the website. So I'll go ahead and open up a second browser so we can see our work. So right here we have global header, global body, and global footer. So let's create a global header. Now, before I do that, I want to upload whatever I downloaded from my website. So I'll go over here under the Divi library. I'll click on Import and Export and Imports, and I want to choose the file. Now, remember earlier how I gave you all that file, the Divi agency layouts? I did have a header in there as well that you can download, and I also do have the Divi theme builder settings that you can download as well. But I'll just download the Divi header 32 and click on Open and Import Divi Builder Layout. Okay, so now you'll see we have the Divi header 32, and this is how you can import layouts to your website, like such as a custom header and a footer to apply on the theme builder. So let's go back to the theme builder, and now I'll click on Add a Global Header, and we can add it from library or build a global header. So I'll click on Build a Global Header, and I will choose this from scratch, right? I think that's standard. So now you can basically build your header just like you normally would with the modules. So for example, we can just select one module here, and in the middle we can type in menu, and we can apply the menu there. So remember, we have the menu, the main menu for our websites, and then you can design this any which way you want. You can center align this, and then you can change the background color, and you can decorate this outer part. You can make this smaller and bigger. So essentially, now you can build your header and your footer any which way you want. You can give it a certain background color, you can add different modules, you can make it as customizable as you want. However, I don't want to make this part of the video very long by creating a header from scratch, so I'll be using a template that I uploaded. So what I'll do is click on the purple buttons and click on this little plus icon, and under your saved layouts, now you'll see we have that header that I uploaded in my library. This will be 32, right? I'll click on that. And there you go. So now we have this header, we have this logo, we have this, we have our menu, and we have this button that we added as well. And then of course we can add in a background color by clicking on the section settings under background, and we can apply a specific background to this as well. So if you want this to be black, we can have it black. And then we can maybe even turn this text to white to make it stand out. I think I'll do that actually. So what I'll do is I'll dim this black, right? And then for this section, under this gear icon, I want to take this and I want the menu text to be white, right? Or menu text color to be white. And then also the logo here. So for the logo, we can change the logo to anything that we want. So maybe I'd probably want to put in something lighter, right? I'll put in this one. Essentially now we have our menu, we have this button, and we can link this button to maybe our contact page and so on and so forth. I'll click on close or save and exit. Whoops. Whoops. Make sure you click on save at the bottom right. I thought I did. So now we have this global header, right? Now with this global header, it's being applied on the entire website. Click on save changes, go to our website, refresh the page. And there you go. So now we have this header being applied throughout our entire website. I'll go to the About Us, the Services, the Contacts, And there you go. I never added the services layout, guys. I was really lazy. Maybe I should have. Shame on me. Shame on me. So now we have this custom header on our website, and what you can do is you can just basically change this to any style that you want, and it'll dynamically update on all of the pages. So that's how you can achieve a global header. Now we can do the same thing for the global footer as well. So I'll go ahead and upload a Divi footer that I downloaded from my website. So import and imports, choose the file, and under my desktop, I downloaded this Divi 100 footer pack, number 6, and import that one. All right, so we have footer 6, and again, you can download all these for free on my website. So let's go back to the Divi theme builder. Under the global footer, I will build a global footer, build from scratch. Close this, and I just want to add it to my library. So let's go ahead and go to my saved layouts and footer number 6. And this is now my new footer. We have these icons here that look really cool. We have this, and then we have our pages and so on and so forth. Of course, now I can edit this, maybe change this to black, right? Because we have our header black, so I want this to be black too. And then click on save. All right, now let's go ahead and close this. Save the changes, and let's take a look at our website. So I'll refresh this page and scroll to the bottom, and voila. So we have this footer. It looks really clean, really professional, and we can add anything we want here. We can link these text to anywhere that we want, such as our other pages, and so on and so forth. So that is pretty much a quick rundown of the Divi theme builder. Pretty simple, right? Now let's get a little bit more dynamic. Let's say, okay, Darrel, we have a really picky client, but for the About Us page, they want a different menu. And this is very common for squeeze pages where you're trying to sell a certain product. So I want to have a different menu for the About Us page. I don't want to have it for the global. So let's do that. I'll go to add a new menu, or what is that? What is that? Add a new template, right? Add a new template. Now I want to have this on a specific page. So I want to only have this on the About Us page. All right, so just on the About Us page, and that's it. So add a new menu, About Us page, create a template. So now we have a specific page here, but I want to get rid of this one. I want to have a custom header only on the About Us page. So let's do that. Let's create a custom header on the About Us page. So let's go to view saved layouts. And let's use 35 this time. 35, you're coming back. You're back in the game. So now you'll see we have 35 here. And we can go ahead and customize this by clicking on the pencil icon. And now you'll see this is the default header that I originally used for the website. So I say, all right, that looks good. We can change this. We can edit this and all that stuff. But, I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll just click on save. And I will click on close. Next, I will click on Save Changes, and now let's see what our website looks like. So let's go to our homepage. All right, homepage looks good, right? Contact looks good. However, if I click on the About Us page, the header should look different. And there you go. So now the header looks different, and it's using a different header. So essentially what you can do with a theme builder is you can keep adding new sections and saying, you know what? For my blog post, I want a different header. For this, I want a different header and footer, and so on and so forth. So now let's say, all right, Darrel, well, that's cool, but, let's go to my website, Divi theme tutorial, and let's say someone enters in a wrong domain name, like something like that. Now we have this, and this is the default with Divi. This looks really ugly. I want a custom 404 page. Let's create a custom 404 page. Back to our website. So let's click on add a new template. I will scroll down to the 404 page and click on create a template. So now you'll see we have the 404 page. Now you can choose to hide the menu and the footer and only have a custom body. I think I want to do that. Let's just click on add a custom body, and let's just do build custom body. Let's see if Divi has any custom 404 pages. I don't think they do. I don't think they do, but choose a pre-made layout, and under the search, let's type in 404. No, they don't. So let's make one. It's really, really simple, right? I'm going to go ahead and find something really quick. We'll pick this one, and I want to use this layouts. When you're building your website, you can just grab sections from certain templates and just use specific part of those sections. You don't have to use all of the page. Okay, so we have Divi for Business. Now you notice how the footer and the header is gone, because remember, I don't want that. And this is just gonna say something like lost, like are you stupid? Here, are you stupid? Lost. And then we can redirect them to our home page. So what I'll do is, I think this is the full with slider module. So what I'll do is I'll double click on this, and I don't want 2 buttons. I only want 1 button, and this will be back to home, right? So I just want them to go back to home. And for the link, it'll just be the website, www.divithemtutorial.com, right? And close that. And I can get rid of this text. Obviously, I can design this. I can, do whatever I want, but I think that's all I want. Now, there's other parts of the website that we just don't need. So let's just do this. This is trash, 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 trash. I should make a song. No, trash, trash. And man, that is a lot of sections. Good Lord. All right. So finally, all that stuff's gone. And it looks like down here, is there any padding down here? We can check it out. Is there any padding here? Nope, that's about it. I will click on save. Okay, now let's close this. I will save the changes. Now let's test this out. So remember, I am hiding the header and the footer, and I only want the lost page to be displayed. So let's click on home, make sure everything's cool, right? Everything looks good. Now let's type in a bogus URL. This will be like that. Enter. And there you go. Are you stupid? Are you lost? Go back to home. And you notice how the header and the footer are gone, because I don't want them to navigate to other parts. I just want to take them back to the home page. Click on back to home. And that's it. They're back to our home page. So you can create a custom 404 page really easily with the Divi theme builder. So next, let's talk about posts. So I'll show you how to create posts with the Divi theme builder as well. But before I do, I need to actually create a page for my blog posts. So let's do that. I'll go to plus new and go to page. Now you don't have to follow me here. This is only for people who want to have a blog on your website, and blogs are very helpful actually. So this will be my blog page. I'll publish and publish, right? So now that I've actually created the blog page, I need to assign the blog page as our blog page. And do you guys remember how to do that? You'll go to the theme customizer. Oof, if you remembered, congrats. Remember homepage settings and post page. So this will be blog, right? I'll publish that. And we need to add it to the menu. So we need to have a blog on the menu. So under the menus, main menu for website, I'll go ahead and add the item. So add the item, the blog, right? And publish. So that's just another shortcut on how you can add the blog or add pages to your menu using the theme customizer. So I'll close that now. So now we have the blog page here. Pretty cool. And nothing is here. So let's create a blog post. So first, plus new and post. And 10 things women are good at, or no. See, here we go. 10 things women think they are good at. It's a very controversial post. These posts, they just get a lot of, like 10 things men need to know, or 5 things women need to talk about with their husbands. Those topics just get so many clicks. It's ridiculous. What we can do is use the default editor or use the Divi builder. So I'll click on use the default editor. Okay, so I got some dummy text there. That's a lot better. I went to my secret website and got some dummy text. Now, also, I'll click on this plus icon, and we can just add something in here. So, for example, we can add in an image. So if I click on an image, we can upload an image from our media library. We can build it like that, and so on and so forth. Now, with Divi, they also have integration. So you can add a block, and you'll see this Divi layout. So you can insert a Divi layout and insert it inside of your post. So you can use Divi within the editor. So for example, load from library. And I'll just put in something here really, I don't even know. We'll put in footer 6, guys. I don't want to upload a whole template. So now you'll see how that has been uploaded. So you can just, use the builder from inside of the Gutenberg editor. That's where the integration from Divi comes in very handy, because now you can add in full layouts to your posts, right? So I can build a new layout and you can put something in there, you know, that you want to add. So you can build within the Gutenberg editor. Now, I'm not going to go into that too much because I don't want to spend another hour talking about the blog post, which I easily can. But what I'm going to do here is I'll just take this, copy this, and I will just add in a new block of a paragraph and just grab in some text, and there you go. Now I want to add in a featured image. So under featured image, I will click on one. Now this is the image that people are going to see when they see your article. So I'll put a picture of, these images are a little small here. So I can get a bigger one. Let's see. There we go. That's a good one. We'll put in a picture of this happy woman and click on publish and publish. So now let's click on view the post. And there you go. So 10 things women thinks they are good at. And then you can go ahead and talk about your post. And maybe I would probably want to get a better image that is not so pixelated. You want to get probably an image a little bit bigger than 1,000 pixels. You know, so yeah, that'd be it. But now let's say this is the default editor, right? And you know, it just doesn't look good. You know, we have all this stuff on the side. It's not creative. It doesn't look good. We can use the Divi Builder to create all of our posts for us instead of using the default Gutenberg editor. Quickly show you how to do that with the theme builder. Let's go back to our theme builder and I'll click on add a new template. Now I want this to be under all posts and click on create a template. Let's go ahead and select a custom body and let's add one from the library. I'll type in post, and I do think they have some post page for us, guys. They do have some, which are pretty helpful. Let's go ahead and scroll down. So you want to find the post pages. For example, this one, post page 2, post page 3, post page 4. I used that one last year. So I'll just select this one. All right. And I will use this layout. Okay, so now we have all posts. So now this is going to be my default template for all of my blog posts. Let's check it out. Make a new post. So let's just give you an example of how this works. And we got to pick on men this time. 5 warning signs to break up with your boyfriend. Ooh, that is a good one, man. I should have like a blog talking about relationships. I can really get some you know, people to watch my stuff. So I'll click here on publish and publish. What I'm going to do is set a featured image. So we'll add a featured image of a guy, right? That looks good. And I'll use the default editor. And here, I'll just type in some, you know, content, right? And that's it. I'll update it. And now let's view the post. So now you'll see how dynamic content is working. We have this title dynamically updating, 5 warning signs to break up with your boyfriend. We have written by, we have the actual author, the dates, and then we have the featured image here, which is a little bit too big. And then we have some content here, and it just looks really nice. It looks really professional. This will be like the default way of creating your post. And you have other categories, and you can stay up to date with other stuff. So all of this stuff is created by the page builder, and it's a default post template for all of your blog posts. Now, let's just say, for example, you want to move something around. If you want to change anything on your website, you can go back to the theme builder. So let's go to the dashboard, Divi, theme builder, and I'll edit the custom body. So this is the current post template. This is the post title. And again, you can move this anywhere you want. It'll update dynamically. This is the featured image. If I click on the gear icon, you'll see that this is an image. However, to make this dynamic, it's very simple. For example, I'll delete this image, and you'll see this on the right side, how this says dynamic, or there's that little icon. That's dynamic content. So what this means is you can basically reflect certain images to be here automatically. Maybe you want the site logo to be here every single time you make a post, right? Or the featured image, or the profile of the author. So I'll select featured image. So that means the featured image will be displayed here. And then over here, you'll see that a blurb setting. However, they decided to add the author of this. And maybe you want to add in the logo of your website to update dynamically. So I'll click on plus. I'll type in image. All right, image. Now for the image, I want the logo of my website to display here. So I will put the trash can, click on the dynamic update. I guess you want to say, I don't even know what that is, guys. It's just a barrel or something. So, and then I'll just put site logo. and then I'll click on check. And there we go, save. That's how you can use dynamic content with your posts. I hope I was very clear on that. So remember, the Divi Theme Builder just gives you tons of control and flexibility over your website. So again, you can add a new template and say, hey, you know what? For my category pages for my blog, I want it to look different, which you can do. For your search results, you can change the way your search results look, and so on and so forth. So in a nutshell, that is the Divi Theme Builder. It's a very powerful tool, and it just gives you total flexibility and control over your website. So now that we talked about the Divi Theme Builder, let's now talk about the advanced features that come with Divi. All right, let's talk about some advanced features that come with Divi that can help speed up the workflow of your websites. Now, you don't have to use these features. However, I just want to introduce you to some of them just in case you want to apply them to your website. So number one is find and replace. Now, when you're building your website, you might notice that you have specific colors on your website. Wouldn't it be nice if you can change all of the colors at one time to a different color just to see how your website will look? So let's do that. So I'll click on this specific icon. I'll double click. I'll go to the design tab, and I will go to the image and icon, and I'll see the icon color. Now this works for any module. So you can do this for any blue module. So I'll click on the color. Now I have the specific color, but I want to change all of the blue colors here on the page to maybe like green or something. So I'll right click and I'll click on find and replace. So now what it's saying is find this color, so find the blue color and replace it within this page, this column or row to this color. So you know what, let's change this to something like this color right here. And then once that's done, I'll say replace all. So I want to replace all of the blue colors with this teal turquoise color and click on replace. Now let's scroll up, and now you'll see how all of those colors that we applied on our websites are now being changed to this specific color. It's a very fast way on how to change the design and workflow of your website. So now you'll see all of these colors that we had are being changed to a different color. Number two is the paste styles. So for example, I have these 4 columns here. Now I've already modified this column, and I don't want to have to do that all over again. I can right click, I can copy the module styles, and then I can paste it within this other column. All the settings that are being saved on this specific module, we can apply it to other ones. Another really cool feature is not really advanced feature, but this is the shape dividers. So when you're building your website, you might want to add shape dividers onto your website. Amateurs love shape dividers. I'll click on this gear icon and I'll go to the design tab. I'll see this divider section, and under the top section, I can change this divider to something else. There's a lot of different ways on how you can design dividers. So we can add it to the top and also the bottom. We can add a different divider style, maybe something like blue or black or something like that. And there's a lot of different ways how you can customize it. I don't use them too much, but they are very trending, and I do recommend using shape dividers. Just don't go too crazy with them, because then again, you have to carry that throughout your website, and that can be a little tough. So shape dividers are really cool. I'm going to do something called bulk editing. So with bulk editing, you would simply click on a module and hold shift. So I'll click on this module, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll click on the gear icon. Now what I can do is I can edit all these modules at the same time. So for example, if I want to add a specific border to this, I will add in a black border, and I will increase the border width. And now you'll see how it's being applied to all of the modules. Pretty cool. You can apply this to all of the modules. You just need to hold shift and click on all of the modules, and whatever changes you make for one module, it will be applied for all of the modules. So that is basically called the bulk editing, and it's a feature that came out sometime this year. The next feature is called the Divi presets feature. Wouldn't it be nice if you can create modules and they were already presetted and created for you without having you to design everything all over again or duplicating it? We can do that with the Divi presets feature. So for example, I'll go on this button right here and click on the gear icon. Now this works for all modules. You'll see this preset default. We can click on that and click on create a new preset from current styles. And this will be the main button. Now we can assign this button style to other modules, or I can assign this preset to default, meaning every time you create a button, it will look like this. So that's pretty convenient, right? So I'll click on check and say yes. And then we can style that button preset right here. But I'll just click on check and check. Now let's add a new module here. So I'll click on the plus icon and I'll select button. And there you go. So now you'll see the button is created for us automatically with this specific style. So that's a really cool, helpful feature. Now, of course, you can create new styles and you can store them in your presets by going to module settings and then go to presets, and you can add another one. So for example, you can create a, this will be like the black button style or something like that. And I'll click on check. And now you can design the black button styles. The button, you'll have it as a black, or we'll have a white color. And then I'll have a black background, right? Something like that. And I'll click on yes. We have the main button, right? And then we also, there we go, main button, and we also have the black button style. So you can create different presets for different modules, and then you can go apply them throughout the website. Yeah, the green button, I just made that because I was just, during my editing time, I just made it just to mess around with things. But you get the idea here. So you can have different styles for specific modules and create presets for your modules. So the next feature, which I think is really cool, is called the fixed positions feature. Now there's a few ways on how you can apply this, and I'll just go ahead and just give you an example. So I'll scroll down on my website here, and now you'll notice that this button on the top right keeps following us. It's sticky. So what we can do is we can have certain sections sticky, we can have module sticky, we can create a sticky feature for pretty much any specific module, column, or row. So let me show you all how I did that. So for example, I'll click on this module and I'll go to the advanced section. Under the advanced section, we have scroll effects. Now there's different type of sticky effects and there's different sticky positions. So we have stick to the bottom, we have stick to the top and bottom, and we have just do not stick. So for example, the do not stick is just gonna remain not sticky, right? If I click on the stick to top, when I scroll past it, it will stick to the top of the screen. Something like that. And you can set the actual top offsets right here. So basically saying I want it to be 135 pixels from the top. That's what that's referring to. So the next option we have is stick to bottom. Now this is a very interesting effect and it works on some websites, but let's say for example, we pass the button. So you'll see the button. However, if we scroll up, the button will now follow us on the bottom right. So that is where this stick to bottom comes into play. And when I scroll past of where I originally put the module, it is now there. That's just a way on how you can add stick to the bottom, or we can have it stick to the top and the bottom. So if I scroll down, you'll see how it scrolls to the bottom and it scrolls to the top. But I have that preset up there, so I'll reduce that to 0 and it'll remain there. It's a pretty cool effect. We can have that button there and also there. Now this is a great feature to have on your blog. So let's say, for example, you want people to sign up or you want people to do something. It's a really cool effect, and you can apply it not just to a specific module, but you can also apply it to a specific row. Now what I'll do is I'll apply this with a sticky. So under the advanced scroll effects, I can put this as stick to the top. So when I scroll down past this, you'll see here how now it eats up everything because it wants me to kind of, it wants me to click on this. And when I scroll up, it's gone. And I can do that again. I can do stick to the top and to the bottom. So with the scroll effects, I will put stick to the bottom. Now you'll see how when I start the website, it loads at the bottom. And if I scroll to the bottom, it then fits into place and then everything's normal. Let's talk about another really cool feature, which is the transformation of the scroll effects. Scroll effects on the advanced tab, you might notice that you have these other options. So you have, the sticky positions, but you can also do really cool things like vertical motion. You can have rotating. Now I'll just click on this image and use this particular one to give you an example. So what I'll do is I'll first rotate this object. Now you'll see as I scroll, we can rotate the specific object, which is really cool. And we can turn that off and saying, okay, I don't want the rotating. However, I want to add vertical motion. So now basically when I scroll up and down, the object will go into place like that. And we can control the viewport bottom and the viewport top by, just selecting something like that. So now what happens when I scroll down, it'll come up more at a better angle. You can go through each of these options and find out what you want to do for your websites. The horizontal motion is really cool, and there's a lot of good examples to use it like right now. So I'll just scroll down and the image will come out of the website and be placed there. Now there's various ways on how you can, design this page. So you can put the end starting off and the mid starting off. So for example, I can put it off the screen, and then as I scroll, we can have it come on and off like that. So there's just so many different ways on how you can customize with this section with the transformation effects. There is actually an article by Elegant Themes, and they do give some very unique styles of how they apply the transformation effects. So you'll see how they add these donuts, and the donuts roll off the screen as you scroll up and down. Also, we have this one with the car. Goes off and on the screen when people rotate off the screen like that. So as they scroll up and down, the car kind of goes in and out. So there's just a lot of ways on how you can apply these scroll effects. Personally, I don't use them too much, but there definitely is a reason to use them. It's a really cool feature, and the scroll effects can really add a lot of nice design and decor to your website. The next is an amazing feature that I think that you're really gonna love, and it's called the A/B split testing with Divi. So for example, we have this text right here and we have this button. Now, how do I know if this text is being effective or not? Are these people clicking the button because of this text? Well, we can A/B split test with different versions of this specific text. So I'll right click on this module and click on A/B split testing or split testing, and then click on OK. I will then click on this button because I want to test this specific button. So essentially, I want to test this text versus this button. So what I can do is I'll click on this little arrow here, and now I'll create a different version of this text. So I'll click on the gear icon here, and then put something like, and I'll click on check. And then we have two different versions. I'll go ahead and save this right here. And on these little block icons, I'll click on that and I'll scroll down, and now you'll see that we have two different versions of the text. So what Divi will do is that it will distribute this to different visitors on your website. So when you have visitors on your website, it will distribute this text and this text equally to all your visitors, and they will find out which text is performing better based off this text, who is clicking this button. And again, we can make a third version. So we can make a third version. We can change this to something like 100% money back guarantee, and click on check and save. You can split test every single part of the website to see if something's being effective or not. And this is great for home pages. This is great for call to actions. What we can do is we can just wait this out, and you can even visit your website on other browsers, and you will see that the text will constantly change and rotate to other visitors to determine what text is being the most effective. So let's open this up really quick. I'll click on these three bars, and now you'll see text 1, text 2, and text 3. So what this is going to do is that it's going to compare the impressions, the clicks, and the click-through rate to determine, is text 1 more effective? Is text 2 more effective? Or is text 3 more effective? You can read the reads, the bounces, and then they have goal engagement as well. So the A/B split testing, it's really cool, it's really helpful. And let's say, for example, text 2 is performing the best. You can end the split test, pick a winner, proceed, and say, you know what? Text 2 had the highest rate of conversions, so I want to select text 2 to be the permanent text, and that's your winner. So now text 2 will be displayed on your current WordPress website. So that's it. That's all of the advanced features. I hope this part of the video was helpful. I hope it wasn't too much for you guys. So remember, feel free to pause the video, go get a drink, go get a beer, and come back. Now that we talked about all of the advanced features with Divi, let's talk about some of the creative styles that you can achieve with the Divi Builder. Next, let's talk about some creative designs. In the beginning of this video, I showed you all some really cool animations, like this animated clock when users scroll on your website, or this expanding blurb section, or an expanding call to action, or a creative divider scroll. You'll see when users scroll on your website, you'll see these section dividers that actually move with the actual user, which looks really cool. There's various ways on how you can design and style it, or you have this Divi test mask with background animation, which also looks really cool. Now, Elegant Themes kind of did a poor job at keeping all of these together and having records for them. So what I did is I went back 2 years on Elegant Themes blog, and I created a blog post, and I linked all these tutorials and layouts on one specific blog post. So you'll have access to all of these tutorials in this blog post. I'll put these tutorials in the description below of this video, so you can go ahead and download all of these layouts. Also, some of these are tutorials. For example, this mobile contact bar, this is a tutorial where they'll show you how users can click on something and then it'll call on their phone, or if they click on this, it'll pull up a Google's Maps. And yeah, I just didn't want these to go to waste because they have some really good tutorials and they have some really good stuff, and I just wanted to kind of put them all together in one source so you don't have to go back and scour the internet and, you know, spend hours of your time and everything. I wasn't going to make these in this video because I felt it would have been too long of a tutorial, and I figured these guys have already showed you how to do it, so I just wanted to include that in this tutorial. You are welcome. Go have fun and download all of those free layouts on your website. Okay, welcome to my design tip number 5. Now, let's say for example, you're like, Darrel, I know how to use Divi. I'm really good at it, but you know, I just lacked some design aspect. I need some inspiration. I just need some help in order to, you know, make my website vibrant and really good, and I want to get some help and ideas. So if you go to my website under the Divi tab, you'll see the best Divi resources tab that I have. Now what I've done is I've compiled a list of a lot of Divi plugins, Divi templates, and also Divi child themes. So for example, I'll click on the Divi theme plugins, and these are all plugins that are made specifically for Divi. So we have the Divi Supreme plugin, which gives you 50 more elements to your website, like gradient text and other stuff. We have Divi Carousel, which is a plugin that allows you to have a carousel onto your website with Divi. And then we have something like a Divi mega menu as well, which just gives you a really cool mega menu to your website. So you can go ahead and check out this list, and you might find something that you need. Sometimes you're building stuff and you might need just like one or small plugin, and that'll complete your website. Also, for those of you who need templates, I recommend DiviDen. They have just tons and tons of templates that you can use. They have more than 1,600 templates that you can purchase and download on your websites. Also Divi Monk, the Landing Factory. This resource page, it took me weeks to, you know, compile and get together, but you can find templates, Divi plugins, and also Divi child themes. Now, essentially what a Divi child theme is, you might come across that a lot, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Essentially what it is a theme that's created with Divi, just with some PHP modification. It's just basically geared a little bit more towards people for a specific niche, like Divi e-commerce or digital marketing. And it just adds new features, it adds new styles that normally don't come with Divi. So it just adds a little bit more to your websites, and if you see something that you like, you can just purchase it and it'll import all of the demo content for you. So it's basically a pre-made website just with some small modifications, just to kind of push the design limits of Divi. If you want to go ahead and check out some of the Divi child themes, you can check that out. Also, memberships and packages. Let's say you just see a large list of something that you like. They have memberships where you can purchase a membership and you get access to all of their plugins, all of their themes, everything that they offer, like the Divi Space membership and Mark Hendrickson, and also the B Superfly membership. Also, for those of you who just want some help, you know, with Divi and everything else, all of these websites offer membership courses, which can really help you with your web design flow. So go ahead and check out the Divi resources page. I just spent a lot of time making it just to make sure that everyone out there has a resource for something. Again, go ahead and check those out. And that was my design tip number 5. In case you suck at designing, don't worry about it. You can always get work and inspiration from other designers. You guys are gonna love the Divi Marketplace. It offers plugins for Divi, templates and child themes, and all sorts of goodies for your website. With that said, let's go back to the video, guys. All right, so we saved the best for last. In this section of the video, I'll be showing you how to use layouts, how to use Divi extensions, and also Divi child themes that you might come across on the internet. Now, if you go to the Divi website and you go to Divi and go to the Divi Marketplace, I'll leave a link in the description below to the Marketplace. you're going to come across tons of really fun stuff. You're going to come across Divi Extensions, Divi child themes, Divi Layouts, and it's overwhelming. There's so much stuff here, and I can't have a video on every single one, but you can just get a general idea of what some of these plugins do. For example, the Divi Essential plugin. This plugin is the one I used earlier in the demo, and this gives you access to 55 different modules, and it has 500 layouts for those specific modules. It's really cool, and in this video, I'll give you an example of this specific plugin. Now, whenever you purchase a product from the marketplace, it's going to end up in your account. So you'll go click on My Downloads, and if you scroll to the bottom of the page, it'll say your Divi Marketplace products, and then you can download that specific product that you purchased. I'm going to use the Divi Essentials plugin first, just to give you an example of what you might do if you come across a Divi plugin. Plugins, click on Add New. I'll click on Upload Plugin. I'll select Browse, and now I'll select the zip file. So whenever you purchase these plugins, they're going to be in zip files. So I will open the zip file, and I will click on Install Now. All right, cool. So I'll activate the plugin, and now you'll see the Divi Essentials plugin is activated. So everything is pretty much done now. I'll just go back to Visit Sites, and now I will enable the Visual Builder. Pretty simple. Now I can just add different modules to my website. Click on the plus module, and I'll scroll down, and now you'll notice that we have these blue modules. So we have a flip box, we have the business hours, a next Divi review, a dual button, a next button. I mean, there's so many different buttons and different things that we can have on our website that are a lot different than what Divi normally offers. Now, this is a bad example because I have to fully customize that, but let me just give you an example of something that you saw earlier in the video, which was the gradient text. And they also have a lot of animations. They have all these really cool modules that you can add to your website. Text gradients. And you can design this just like you normally would any other module. For the gradient color, we can pick a specific gradient color, and then we can change the direction of it. And maybe I would want to change something like the font, right? So for the fonts, I think we're sticking with Poppins, right? Poppins, heavy, and then there you go. And you can also control the speed of the gradients. You can control the direction. You would use these just as regular Divi modules. So I'll just drag it up there. And yeah, you can change the design, the reveal effect. What's that, huh? I think that's when you hover over it. It adds like a something over it, and the hover effects. Grow. Oh, see that? Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. So you have all these cool goodies, that they offer. So, you'd have to just go through a lot of these modules and then just, oh, there it goes. Yeah, that's the reveal text. It's like a black little thing that pops over it. So you'd have to just go through a lot of these modules and just kind of, figure out what they do. Like here we got this really cool flip box, and then we can design the color. We can add different icons. We can change the front and the back. A new element. Okay. Oh, it's a floating image. How cool is that? So let's add in an image here. Let's put in this guy. Put in this guy. Ooh, that's really, really cool. And then we can probably customize that more. The animation settings. Horizontal. Oh, look at that. That is really that's really cool, actually. So for this specific plugin, I do have a discount code. If you go to the developer's normal websites and you go to their products and go to Divi Essentials, I have a coupon code for 20% off that specific plugin if you want to go that route. Now, every developer on the marketplace, they have their own websites, but at the same time, we want to probably buy it off the marketplace because we want to support elegant themes, and we also want to support a lot of these other developers. But sometimes these guys give me discount codes, and they're only good on their websites. So if you enter the code Darrel Wilson, you will save 20% off this particular plugin. So I do have other discounts and offers on my current website for other Divi third-party companies. So if you want to check that out, just go to the Divi tab on my website. But in general, you can find the most extensions and plugins for Divi on this website, and you can see what they do. Like for example, the Divi carousel module, it makes like a carousel for your blog posts and just gives it, a lot more style. Also, Divi Supreme is another really good one. I do have a discount code for them as well on my blog, and that basically gives you 40 more modules. However, the Divi Essentials plugin, it gives you 55 modules, so it does give you a little bit more, and I think they're on the same price, $79 and $79. So yeah, so that's exactly how you would upload Divi Extensions to your website. All right, so I showed you all how to upload plugins. Now let's say, for example, you want to upload a template that you might come across from the Divi Marketplace or from just someone giving out a freebie. Over here under the Divi Layouts, you'll see that there's just tons of different layouts that you can purchase. So the one that I purchased just now, I just bought this one. It was just something really cheap. It's $3 and it's just a coming soon page. I'll show you how to upload these to your websites. Once you purchase a specific layouts from the actual marketplace, whether it's this one or wherever, the product will end up in your account. So you'll go to Accounts, My Downloads, you'll scroll down and you'll see your Divi Marketplace products. So you'll click on Download, and then you will just save the file. Now, once you save the file, you will receive a zip folder. And again, the same thing, you will have to unzip the folder and then you'll get the JSON files. So it's the Divi Coming Soon one that I downloaded. To upload a layout, just go to your dashboard. You go to Divi and go to Divi Library. You will then click on Import and Export. Click on the Import tab. Click on Choose a File. And then you will just simply upload that JSON file. So here it is, coming soon. And I will import the Divi Builder layouts. All right, cool. So once that's done, it will be displayed in your layout section of your Divi library. So let's add it to our website now. I'll go over here to my blog, visit site, and then I will enable the visual builder. Then I will go ahead and delete this just to, start from scratch and everything. On the bottom of the screen, you'll see these dots. Click on those dots and then click on the plus tab. So then you'll click on the Your Saved Layouts, and then you'll go ahead and click on the layout that you wanted to, to upload to your website. I have the Coming Soon layouts, so I'll just go ahead and upload this one here. So that's how you would upload layouts onto your website that you might come across from various other websites or Facebook communities or the Divi Marketplace. Okay, so this is the last part of the video, and I'm going to show you all how to upload Divi child themes to your website. Now, first off, what is a Divi child theme? So a Divi child theme is essentially just a layout on steroids. It basically is a enhanced version of Divi, and it basically takes all of the features for Divi and it adds a little bit more, such as different features, different animations, different modules, or different JavaScript. And it does involve some custom code, so it is a little bit more useful than a normal Divi layout. For example, we have this Divi e-commerce child theme. Now you'll notice right away if I scroll down, you'll see that a lot of this is very hard to do with Divi, like this line animation. Also, we have this add to cart. Now, by default, Divi does not offer this right here. So this was done with custom code, and this is what the child theme does. It just adds some custom code to your websites, and it just gives it a little bit more featured and enhancements that Divi normally doesn't offer. So what you can do is just go through this list and just kind of browse around and shop around and seeing what you like. Now, I'm just going to upload the Divi Business Pro because that's the one I purchased. And again, remember, all of the layouts that you purchased or child themes will be in the My Account section under your marketplace products. And I will go to Dashboard. I know I deleted my website. Oh, it's all gone. It's so sad. So I'll go to the Appearance. And this time we're going to Themes. So we're not going to Layouts. Now, in order for child themes to work, Divi must be installed. So you must install and activate Divi. Then after Divi is activated and installed, we will click on Add New. And we will upload that theme that we purchased. We'll click on Browse. Now, the one that I downloaded was the Divi Business Pro, and it will be in a zip folder. So I will click on Install Now. Child theme recognizes Divi, and remember, Divi must be installed for this to work. So next, I will click on Activate. Now, every child theme has a different way of importing the content. Some have to upload plugins, some will have an easy demo importer. So you'll just have to follow the documentation for every single child theme because they are different. Now, whenever you install a child theme, on the left side, you might get a new setting. So here I have the Divi Business Pro, and I want to import the demo data. So next it's asking me if I want to import the demo data with a plugin. I guess this is their Testify plugin, but I'm just going to install it without the Testify plugin, and I will click on Continue. Next, it's going to ask me if I want to import all of this information. So import the images, the pages, the blog post. Essentially, it's going to import the entire website for me automatically. We'll click on Import Demo Data. All right, so the import was complete. Let's just take a quick look at the website. All right, so here is the website. Now there's different slides. You'll notice here are the slides on the left side. See, that's kind of where the child theme comes into play. Just adds a little bit more style and decor to your website. So I'll scroll down here and just take a quick look. We have the images, this really cool project section. We have this image and some text and some more text, and our services page with some really cool slides. So that's a, cool little feature. So that is pretty much the end of the tutorial, guys. So congratulations on making it this far. If there's anything that I missed out about child themes or plugins, feel free to let me know in the comments below. All right, you guys did it. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back for making it this far. Now you have an amazing WordPress website. You have all the resources that you need. Now, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the comments below. I do my best to get to every single comment. Of course, I can't get to every single one, but if there's a question I can answer, I'll go ahead and answer it. Let me know how this tutorial was. Did I do good? Was I too fast? Was I too boring? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. My favorite beer is Modelo, so go ahead and put that in the comments below and just let me know that you got this far. But until then, guys, congrats on your new website, and I will see all of you party people in the next video, guys. Take it easy.